Hello everybody, and welcome back to Tales on Tap, a place where good friends get together and share stories about quite huge garrisons of armed forces, people dropping out of the sky for no fucking reason at all, and
it was cool.
people walking out of forests just at the right time. I hope that you're all doing well. Thank you so much for joining us again live, as we typically are every Tuesday at 6 PM here over on Twitch. Before we get into all the announcements, let's go and say hello to everybody. Hello, everybody.
Hello,
everybody.
How are you guys doing?
Not
Great.
bad.
Good.
Well,
Always great.
Very good.
Spiffing, darling. Thank you for
Lovely, lovely. So, before we get into tonight's session, we do have a quick announcement to make. Well, we have a few. I don't know why it was just one and a single
Just one.
one announcement out. There is typically a few. So, as always, our sessions here are currently sponsored by our good friends over at Valkyrie RPG. If you're in the market for some high-end D&D merch, dice trays, apparel, all those good things, then head over to valkyrie-rpg.co.uk, have a shop around, and when you get to checkout, use the code TALES10 to get 10% off store-wide purchases on everything except for subscription packs, because they're already discounted enough and you're going to get a hell of a bargain by getting them anyway.
Yeah, those subscription packs are dope.
Yeah, so good. Like, they do like monthly dice bags and shit where you get like random dice. So good. And they're not expensive either. So
Like a little Christmas present.
every month.
Okay.
July.
Yeah, go check them out. And if you haven't already, all of our social links are down in the downstairs bit. Make sure that you go and check them out. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Anything else that we're on? YouTube? We're on a load of different things.
Yeah.
Go check all of them out. Make sure you hit follow, subscribe, hit notification bells on all of them to make sure you're up to date with all things Tales on Tap. And if you haven't checked out our YouTube channel, what the are you doing? Firstly, that's really upsetting because
Get over there.
we really have some cool things on there, like interview videos that we did at UK Game Expo. We've got character assumption videos, all of the pre-VODs from the entire, well, most of the campaign. All the live videos are on there.
Yeah.
All the one-shots we did. We got the Christmas one-shot up there. We got Titania's
Face
Tinker
shot.
Top.
The face shot. That's
yeah.
so good.
Titania's Tinker Top Circus. That was really fun.
Which people still cannot say right.
Yeah, I know. And then we've also
Tatiana?
got... With
Tanya's transplanted Tinkertop Circus.
that one.
There we go.
We've also got the Spelljammer one up there, which we do twice a month as well. So make sure you head over to YouTube, hit subscribe over there, and hit the notification bell there. And every time we upload videos, you're going to be the first people notified. Also, if you would like to subscribe to the channel, we don't ever ask people to do. Really feel that generous and you want to spend £5 on your favourite people, then there is a little purple button downstairs as well that you can click to show your support. But we know that times are hard right now. Not everybody has got £5 to spare. So if you already subscribe to Amazon Prime, you can link your Twitch account to that to get one free subscription a month. And if you want to spend that on another content creator, then by all means go and do that. We need to
Don't do that.
We need to be supporting everyone on this and kind of bringing everyone up at the same time. But if you do want to spend it on us, then thank you very much. That is very much appreciated. This week on Thursdays, now typically we do stream Spelljammer, but we're not going to be streaming this Thursday. We're going to have a bit of a break from streaming. I think we all deserve a night off streaming. So we're going to have a bit of a break away from streaming this week on Thursday, purely and simply because we have streamed every Thursday for the last 6 weeks, and we kind of need a bit of a reset ourselves. So make sure that you don't tune in on Thursday, because we're not going to be here.
But next Thursday, we'll be back with Spelljammer. So
That's kind of a double message, mate, because next Thursday is this Thursday.
no, it's not
following
though.
That is the next.
Following
That is the next
Thursday.
Thursday.
Go watch one of our old streams on
Wait, what?
YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, go do
Maybe
that.
you've missed
Catch
something. Or
up.
go check out one of the one-shots. Go
You could go
maybe
do
start
that.
from the beginning. That could be fun.
Yeah,
I did that the
Figure out
other
how
day.
time works.
Yeah, weird. You could go back in time and see Dan with hair. Honestly,
So true.
That's just,
honestly, if there's
that's just
anything,
unnecessary.
if there's anything
my
to go
God.
back and actually tune in
To
for,
see Dan with hair. Let's go.
Dan used to have hair.
Excuse my eyebrows right at the beginning. There were two colours. It was a bad look. I apologise.
Oh, I like that.
There's things to go back on. You could open the vault of Tales on Tap and go back and see people before they did things. It was really fun. Dan's, I'm gonna get.
Why do I do this
Did I
again?
have- did I
Why
have
am I here?
green hair at the time? I can't remember. I think I did.
So I think that about wraps up the announcements. Unless oh no, I have missed one. There is a giveaway currently.
Yes, there is.
There is currently a giveaway. If you go over to our Discord, which I need to do things quickly now while I'm doing that. If you head over to our Discord, using the link that I'm about to update now, you will see that there is a channel in the Discord. I'm looking this way because I'm doing two things at once. There's a channel in the Discord, which is called NPC Giveaway Builder or something along those lines. If you go into that and create, we want to see your most inventive NPCs. They can be anything from an adventurer to a baker, whatever you want to do. If you go in there and create an NPC, on our next Last Order stream, we are going to be kind of pitting those NPCs against each other and picking a winner, and that winner is going to get a free art commission done by our resident artist, Natalie, who's going to do that. It can be anything you want. It can be a character that you have drawn up for one of your other games. It can be a dog.
NPC
it could be you. It could be anything.
A family member. It could be absolutely anything you want.
It could be a gelatinous cube made of cheese. Whatever you want to do. You know, just send Natalie some crazy ideas, and then so head over to our Discord. The link's now in chat. Make sure you go and do that, and get that over and done with. I think that about wraps up the announcements for this evening. So, should we play some D&D, guys?
Yes, please.
Let's do it.
That. Okay, cool. So, guys at home, if you haven't already, please make sure you go and get a drink. Get yourselves comfortable as we jump into tonight's episode of Tales on Tap.
Woo!
It's not continentally because I changed the thing round, but I didn't change you guys round.
It's now done.
I'm so bad at this, honestly.
I mean, I can just start.
Yeah, go.
Not long.
I'll title this report an opportune test. We wait for what seems like an eternity to see if Jove can do his talking thing. I know he's able, but if he can keep his emotions in check. That's the question, though. People come and go, and Ed paces a groove into the ground. Michael reads his book, and Ash, well, she talks off the ear of anyone who'll tolerate it. Finally, Jove comes out of the tent, and this is when I realize I've been holding my breath. He's escorted by a few people, one of which Ash and Jove know as Uther Froome. He leads us to a small tent to the south of the camp. My hand still feels naked without my staff. The group fill in Uther about everything they've been doing since they met last. He tells us of Captain Stig, and how he's done something I still can't get my head around. He brought together all their different powers under one cause, a feat that I've never heard of in history. Uther left us for a while to rest, but that is quickly disturbed as we are sent with our weaponry to the Eastern Gate. This is where I first see Stig, riding a large animal I've never seen, and we charge out of the camp. He tells us this is where we prove ourselves, and fucks off on that flying animal. We see robed figures in the clearing with some big blue drapes. We weren't as stealthy as we would have liked as they spotted Michael. We all jump into action, Jove taking on a new, almost lizard-type form, Eddie slicing through a few. I tried a few new spells, and Ash made a huge fog cloud. Michael scared the bejesus out of some of them, and then Stig joined the fight halfway through and fucked shit up with his glaive. Though Zayla took some big hits and falls to the ground, I can't help but drop everything to heal her and drag her out of the fray. Jove cut himself to heal his dragon. There's something about him giving his life force to someone he loves that I can't help but admire. More appear, but they seem to be allies. We've proved ourselves, it seems. We get back to the camp to people cheering, and we join Stig in his tent. He shares his plan for us. He shares his plan for us. Some of the enemy's forces and prisoners, including his nephew Phalanx, have been heading north in the direction of Neverwinter. This is where he wants us to go, with him, into the mire of the dead. So, we have our mission and a direction. That's all for now.
Very good. Very, very good. So, I do apologise. There is obviously one other announcement. I knew I'd forget one. I'm all over the place today. So, we actually have updated all of the emotes, and they have all been verified, all been approved, and are all available for you guys to spam the hell out of tonight.
Go, go, go!
So make sure you go and do that. And the other thing that I forgot is the recap rolls. So, I need... Let me double check. Who is it this week? It is...
It's me, Chris, and Evan?
Nope, just... Oh, because he wasn't here. Because I was just saying, I was just thinking it was us three last week, but
yes. So it's So it's Chris, Evan, and Han. Could you all please roll me a d20?
I've fucking done it again, haven't I? I just fucking rolled in that 20.
throwing them away.
Okay, nat 20 for you, Evan. What did you get? 15 for you, Chris. What did you get, Evan?
11.
11. Okay, so you're going to be recapping for us next week. So if you don't mind, keep in as many notes as you can this evening, because you will be recapping what happens next. So,
Can you imagine Stig just dies and I never even get a chance to recap it?
Oh, don't worry, I'll sort that.
Cool, cheers.
So, where we pick up tonight's session, you guys are currently in the Commander Stig's tent. You guys have fought a hard fight. Hallie, Jove, Michael, and Ashar escorted by Stig to the main tent, where he divulges his main plan and plan of attack for what is coming over the next 2 or 3 days. We pick up tonight's session. You guys are all still currently in the tent, with you all looking over the map currently. What would you like to do?
Conversation stopped last time.
He was pointing at the map, telling us all the places that have like
Fallen
themselves and fallen
that
and
was
the rest of it.
Okay, so we know whereabouts.
This is a bit happy. There you go. Sorry.
Oh, that. We know whereabouts these prisoners are being taken. You said that the forces are going to attack at dawn?
Well, our movements will begin at dawn, but it will take at least a day to muster everyone.
Okay.
I'll send word to some of our other forces who are nearby, and we'll march to meet them. By the time we get everyone going, you should have most of tomorrow to go about your preparations, but we'll likely leave the following day.
Does this mean that you are sending everyone towards Deep and you're packing up everything that's here, or are you leaving people behind?
This is very much a all or nothing type of situation.
Right.
The mages around the walls, I assume they will be joining too, just maybe from a back line. I'm not good with army preparation, so I'm not entirely clear how they'll
Don't
play
worry
it.
about that. We'll be committing all of our forces to the attack on Waterdeep to try and reclaim it. As I said, all information that we've tried to extract from that place has been lost to us, along with anyone who's tried to get information out. It's very much a breach-proof chamber at the moment.
So where do we diverge from the army?
Is there anyone else in the room, apart from these guys?
There is. If you remember, you were all escorted in, and the one kind of brown, kind of choppy-haired guard is standing just off to one side, arms folded, and just kind of watching you all and listening to everything you say. You instantly recognize who this person is, Stig.
Okay. He'll roll up a couple of the pieces of paper on his desk, and he'll walk over to that person. He'll say, "Take these to Kandar and Delan. They'll need to start preparing their forces."
The individual takes them out of your hands and goes, "Well, as long as you think that you're going to be okay here."
I'll be fine with these ones. And there's no one else I trust with the task.
I'll come and find you once it's done. And the individual turns and starts walking out.
If I'm
Direct-
right,
and,
he's
as
looking like
they
a
go to-
normal
as-
soldier, right?
Sorry.
Nah.
He's looking like a normal soldier, right? Yeah.
Yes.
As they go to leave, he'll just say, "Directly to them."
Of course. Just holds the papers up and starts walking out.
Sorry, what were you saying? Oh, yes.
One.
Where will diverge.
Aye.
As I said before, there have been numerous leaks of our movements. It's how they've managed to avoid us before we became gathered and cornered here. So we'll need to separate from the army when everyone else is distracted. The Zentrim and Emerald Enclave are gathered a little south of here. So our forces here, the Lord's Alliance, the Order of the Gauntlet, and the Harpers, will march to meet with them, and at the meeting of the armies, we will depart. When any prying eyes are focused on that,
Okay.
it'll be a good opportunity for us to slip away, and I have a way for us to slip away. You will not need horses or anything else. Try to travel amongst the ranks quietly and as unflamboyant as you can manage.
Yeah, I'm not the flamboyant type.
Our more flamboyant member isn't here right now.
Well, you can still turn a few heads in other ways, I'm sure. Try to
True.
keep it. And when you see me separate, I'll give you a signal, a nod, and you just follow me.
Stig, you've mentioned that you've heard stories of us, descriptions of the Fallen before. How well known are we? Do we need to disguise ourselves or make ourselves...
Well, I didn't recognize you when you came rocking up,
No,
so
true.
as long as you're not going around boasting it, I'd hide some of those tattoos, if you could.
No.
They resemble the engraving on your companion.
Okay.
What do
But
you
I
expect
should-
There we go.
Go on.
Sort of looking at the Joe, sort of like looking at the map, trying to focus in on certain areas, not sort of turning around. He sort of turns his head slightly. He's like, "What do you expect to find in the mire?" You said that's where we're heading, right?
The Mirror of Dead Men is a desolate place that, well, put it this way, most people prefer to sail to Neverwinter from Waterdeep. It's not a nice place. I'm sure you can assume that by the name. Marshy terrain, difficult to traverse, and somewhere in there, somewhere our eyes can't reach, they disappear because nothing comes out the other end. And I doubt they're just going up there to sink in the swamps.
DM, because I went from Neverwinter to Waterdeep in my journey, would I have gone via boat or would I have gone this way?
You wouldn't. Nobody goes down that coastal road.
Okay.
That road hasn't been used in a long
Okay.
time.
Cool.
Typically, on the map where people travel from Neverwinter to Waterdeep, it's kind of around the forest, kind of
Right.
comes down a little bit off to the right and round. It never. The coastal road was. It was a new thing. So, for those of you that live and have been in this area, because trade between Waterdeep and Neverwinter is quite frequent. The original road, the one that everybody travels down, was deemed to be taking too long. So there was a deal struck up by Lord Neverember and the Watching Council, or Liriel Silverhand of Waterdeep, to create a coastal road in which the journey would be cut in half because it's a direct route.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say like a good 18 months, 2 years ago, construction started on this road, but then it stopped, and it was never fully explained as to why. It just kind of got brushed under the rug as to why that kind of the construction of this road kind of halted for some reason.
Okay.
Captain.
Stig's
you-
fine. Or Captain
Fine.
Stig. That's what most call me.
All right. Well, Stig, you said that among your ranks you have Centrim.
Aye, we do. Funnily enough.
Are they from Waterdeep, or have they come from further away?
Those who are from Waterdeep are just the ones who managed to escape when the cult rose up. You see, Waterdeep wasn't attacked from without, it was attacked from within. Hundreds of these cultists made their way in over the course of what could be months. There's no way of knowing now. And all at once, before the Black Staff or the Open Lord even knew what was coming, they didn't stand a chance.
But have you received reinforcements from other Centrim strongholds, like Darkhold or...
The Zentrim are a funny bunch. I assume that most of the ones who are here are more hoping to loot through the battlefield afterwards than get any coin from the Lord's purses, but some have come. It's the essence of this force we've brought together. We fight for our very survival. And at that point, well,
even
doesn't
also
matter who you
sacrifice
fight
the ranks, I
beside.
guess.
Exactly. We'll take whatever help we can get.
Do you... He turns properly at this point and looks at Stig. Do you know if any of the northern orc tribes or the ones out to the east have made any contact with you at all? Representatives come down from the spine.
Word hasn't reached my ears, but that might be something to ask Lord Neverember if you get a chance to.
Okay.
Forgive my ignorance. Who are the Zentrim?
They are basically a guild, some kind.
Or so they fancy themselves.
Yeah, they are. Like I said, they're assholes. They
The name
deal with-
Zentrim formally referred to more of a collective of individual groups. And while I may disparage them, sir, the ones who fight with us are not arseholes. They are our brothers and sisters and kin.
They've had a lot of infighting over the years, from what I've heard.
Haven't we all? But the time for that is in the past.
Well, Edredor kind of takes a couple of steps forward. Goes, well, As much as I want to help with you guys going north and putting a stop to whatever they're doing in this mere, I came with you for a purpose, and that is to fend off cultists from this world.
You are Edredor, are you not? The last survivor of Belloc, or so I hear it from the Orson.
Not the last survivor. There's a few of us, and he just kind of like looks
The last
over to Hallie and just kind of smiles.
My mistake, but perhaps the last man standing is a better title.
For now, and as much as I would love to join you all on the road north, perhaps you could put me to better use. In my years, I have fought alongside men and even led them. If you are in need of a man of technique and tactical awareness, maybe I can be put at better use on the forefront of the assault on Waterdeep. If I can buy you guys time to get up north and do what you need to do, maybe it's best that I spend my efforts doing that. After all, we might not come back if we go up north. Might not come back if I attack Waterdeep either, but at least I can take a few of the fuckers down.
Well, if you do manage to breach,
Go on.
you know who's probably looking for you inside.
Who's looking for me?
A friend.
Someone in there that we know?
Perhaps.
Not so much friends that I am concerned with, it's the innocents within the walls of this city. I've watched far...
Michael, what the hell are you talking about?
It was in Waterdeep.
Am I fucking this up, guys? Or wasn't Clovis supposed to be going towards Deep?
No, he's not in Waterdeep.
Oh, that's what I thought for like 2 seconds.
You don't know where Chloe... You don't know...
Edredor.
You don't know where he is, but look, it's not so much the friends in there that I care about. I have beared witness to innocent lives being lost, and if I can put a stop and at least aid, there could be innocent lives. In fact, I would put my life on that there is innocent lives still within that city limits.
Stig starts, takes off another, thin, long scrap of paper, begins writing in it, rolls it up. Very well. Take this to Nestra Ruthiel. The Water Baron has need of capable fighters in the front line for the battle to come. Tell her Tostig sent you. They'll have a place for you.
Very well.
And he
Does
puts a
anybody
hand on his
else?
shoulder.
You can see that Ash is kind of getting a bit like. Does anybody else want to voice any concerns that they feel like they're better suited to go elsewhere? Because we're having a lot of that lately.
It's... Ash, it's not that I feel that I am better suited elsewhere. I just think that there are different fights on different fronts. And you need people on all of them. I'm your friend. You have others out there on other lines. If you'd rather me stay, I will stay.
No, I'm sorry, Edredor. It's just a lot of change, and obviously you've just kind of joined us and took me by surprise is all. If you feel you would be better suited marching with the army, then you should play to your strengths.
Well, do you
A
really?
multifaceted offense is a benefit for everyone.
Ash, I just don't think they could do it without me, you know? Pretty good with a sword, and I've seen a few of them marching and drilling out there.
Oh, for Christ's sake. You and Nestor are going to get on famously.
Hallie
I'll,
steps forward and I have enjoyed having a little piece of home with us. But I know that you are better suited, as you may put it, to the front line. I would like to have a little piece of home come north with us, but
Well, this
I understand.
isn't just my decision. If you would rather me come north, then so be it. You're my friends. I just thought, looking at the current state of things, maybe I could do more good here, but if you want me north, then say the word, and I'll go tell Nestra that I can't join. Well, I just won't take the letter.
As much as I would love to, I do think I would better their odds you being with them, saving innocence, than without you. So I will not stand in your way.
You have your orders, sir.
Oh, I'm not going to get used to that anytime quick. Can I not be the one giving them? Can I just to a few people? That's not your decision. I'll tell Nestra. Look after yourselves. I'll come and see you before you leave.
Okay.
Right.
We'll
And
see you soon then.
he kind of gives a really flippant, salute and goes, sir? Turns out and just kind of shaking his head, holding his sword, rubbing his kind of temple, like, oh, hell. And just walks out the tent.
Stig just kind of turns around and is going, fuck it, I'm not going to hear the end of that now.
Yeah, you're
So-
always gonna have it, but
Go on.
no, your army's just. I don't know if they're better or worse with them, to be honest.
I'm more worried
Good
about what I'm
man.
going to hear from Nestra.
Edrador's a good man, good warrior. He'll do you proud.
To answer your the other concern I heard in your voice, yes, I do know a lot about you all. There have been stories whispered around the armies, but I have a bit more of a personal insight.
Aye.
Lothar and Leosin speak very highly of you. Sen didn't speak much at all, but
Yeah, that's my buddy.
and Phalanx told me all about you.
Yeah.
And he looks over at Ash.
It's hard to get him to shut up sometimes.
I worry that may have been his downfall. Hopefully, I hope he hasn't fallen too far yet, that we cannot catch him.
Stig, I partially blame myself for what happened to Phalanx. I know it's stupid, but I'm sorry we left him. And by consequence, this is all.
I'll
happened.
stop you there. Phalanx completed his mission that you left him on. It was only after he returned to the garrison that we needed to send more people in to Waterdeep.
Okay.
He volunteered, but I should not have agreed. I was a little spent for choices, and I think he might have thought you were all there. So it's as much as his fault as it is mine, as it is yours, as it is no one's.
Well, we'll be there soon, so nothing to worry about.
I hope you're
Get
right.
him.
How many people are stuck in Waterdeep right now?
We've no way of knowing. It could be half the population still survives. I know many died in the early days. Nothing comes out, nothing goes in, apart from those caravans marching north. And most of them have people with them. People outside of the cult, prisoners in tow. So whether they're just slowly emptying the city of all its living residents or just gathering up those few who still survive, but doesn't change the fact that Waterdeep is vital.
Yeah, I know.
It was the fall of Waterdeep that allowed me to gather this army you see in the first place.
But, I guess obviously he looks a little, not nervous, but unsure of himself when he speaks. But did a lot of the guard get out? A lot of the sort of foot soldiers, the ones who would generally walk around.
The amount of survivors was meager. Those who rose to face the incursion had no idea how big of an incursion it was and how comprehensively they had spread their forces. So many who rose to defend Waterdeep fell in the early hours. By the time they'd realized what they faced, Azura, the Blackstaff, was out of contact. It was the Open Lord. And some made it out, but those were grim days.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that's fine.
Listen,
So
you all traveled a long day to get here, and you were not treated well when you arrived. And following that, we've gotten ourselves into a bit of a scrap. It was good to part flesh with you. I always
That's
find
a
it's a good
sentence I
way.
never want to hear again.
I've not heard that said in a long time.
It's a good way of getting to know somebody,
It's the best way.
who they really are. But I recommend for the next day you do try to recuperate as much as you can. Like I said, our forces will begin to move and break camp tomorrow. We'll need to be ready by the afternoon, evening the following day. I can't say that the camp has much to offer you in terms of entertainment. The drill square people sometimes gather. And we've a quartermaster, but I doubt they'd have much to offer.
But we
They
are
may.
free to wander round.
You are. If anyone gives you problems, tell them Tostig Mordor personally gave you permission. But try not to get into too many conversations. We don't want too many of the men figuring out who you are.
No.
No,
course
that's
not.
fine.
Other than that, there's plenty of training space or whatever. I'll allow you to decide how you go about your day. If you need anything, feel free to come and talk to me. I may come and seek you out if I have need of you.
I tried the chair.
No, but I'll show you how to make one.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we've only made shale lounges up to this point.
Your ass is probably a little too bony for this one. Might be a bit uncomfortable.
I've been
Shame
sleeping in a
lounges.
box for about 60 years. I think I'm fine.
Fair enough.
Kind of weird, but sure.
Throwing that out there.
Jeff just looks a second and goes, he says stuff like that.
I've not heard too many stories about you, so I'm looking forward to gaining some of my own. Thank you for taking me up on this offer. I know it's a lot to ask, considering what you've been through to get here and what this must be like for you.
That's what we're here for,
We're just
Stig.
happy we can help.
Getting my friend back.
And killing some
Save.
fuckers along the way.
Saving the world.
I'll drink to that.
Stop saying saving the world.
Sorry, worlds.
No,
one.
that's way worse.
It's way worse.
You better start getting used to it.
I mean,
As you
Whether
guys,
you like
right?
it or not.
as you guys all finish your conversation and make your way out of Stig's tent, leaving him to pore over loads of kind of sealed parchments and things that are on his desk, you guys make your way out of the tent, start heading back to your tent itself. As you arrive, you see that Leosin is kind of leant up against a post, and it's at the entrance to your tent and goes, "Ah!
Hello.
I was wondering when I'd see you again."
So annoyed that Clovis doesn't get to reunite with Leosin. So annoyed.
You chose this.
Your fault,
I
dude.
did this. I did this.
Oh, look, it's the consequences to my own actions.
What?
So, fancy seeing you here.
Long time no see.
Yeah.
From what I hear, not long at all.
Well, for us, maybe.
That's generally what I meant, yes.
Oh, good. So I got what you mean. Great.
You have changed.
I just pat Jove on the shoulder. Like, good job.
And with some new friends, I see.
Hi,
Yeah.
this is Hallie.
That's Mike.
Pleasure to meet
Michael.
you. Michael and Hallie.
Yes.
Have I seen you before, Hallie? I am quite good with faces, and you look awfully recognizable.
Do I recognize him in even anyone
Not a chance, no. Were you once drunk at the end of a bar in Baldur's Gate?
I mean, I've been drunk upon many a bar. I mean, at the end of a bar. But maybe.
Strictly remember you.
I don't think I've ever been drinking in Baldur's Gate, to be fair.
Oh. You remind me awfully of an individual that stole a bard's loot once and ran down the streets of Baldur's Gate drunk, hitting things with it. That not you? Anyway.
Not me, sorry.
Fair
No,
enough.
you
Sounds
do have
like
to tell
me.
me that story, yeah.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, nonetheless.
You too, sir.
So, I hear that you have epic tales of your heroic deeds. But, down to the main business, where are your other friends?
Clovis is away doing Clovisy things.
Ah.
And Feathers is
Such a broad range of possibilities.
Do you see Leos's reaction was, oh yeah, fair enough. Yes.
And Feathers is no longer with us.
It's a shame. I really liked her.
Me too.
She was one person out of all of you that kind of, well, unpredictable. And sometimes unpredictability is the very nature of things.
And sometimes it gets you banned from magic shops.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that kind of seems like something she would do as well. Well, I'm glad to see you all, and alive, nonetheless.
No.
Just about.
Well, you don't seem so...
Looks at
You don't
Michael.
You don't seem so...
Everyone just turns to look at Mike.
I don't know. I've seen worse. But you all seem rather... I don't know, unhappy about being alive. Well, don't worry, in the days to come, that might change.
Right, this is something I've wanted to do since Elturel. Do I get the sense that he is genuinely asking or that he is seeking for information? Because I have never trusted the Ocean. Vibe check.
He's a halfer.
I don't care. I have
roll me-
never trusted the Ocean.
Roll me an insight check.
I trust everyone.
Seek
17.
information is
17.
all they do.
I'm going to say both.
Okay.
So
Oh,
basically,
you
you're
learned
back
nothing.
where you started.
Right, alright, cool.
So you get the impression from Leosin that he asks very open-ended questions for a reason. You can see that he's a very calculated individual.
Yeah.
You see that, and you get the impression that he also asks questions that he definitely already knows the answer to, but
Yeah.
like he is probing to see what else you are willing to give, how
Yeah.
open and how kind of willing you are to give information freely, some of which he quite clearly already knows, and others he kind of probes, and he will ask leading questions sometimes to see if you kind of like correct him or not. You see that he's a very intellectual individual and very intelligent, and he is very kind of calculated.
He's kind of got an inquisitor's mind in a way.
Yeah, but he's very calculated in the way that he asks questions and what he's asking and the way he's asking them.
Okay.
But then, yeah, he kind of turns and... So, plans?
Join the forces of good. Not that we weren't part of that already.
I was going to say, it took you some time. Well?
Character growth. Just following
What's that?
Stig's orders.
Oh. You know, he's a good man. Somewhat of a firm tone behind him and likes to throw his weight around a little bit, but I suppose he has to in the position he's in.
Aye.
Didn't you hang out with Uthar? Aren't you used to that?
Uthar is a different kettle of fish altogether. Uthar throws his weight around because he's fat. Don't tell him I said that.
Jenny just goes, yeah, he is pretty big.
But Uthar is also a good man. But he likes to solve problems by hitting things as hard as he can. He hasn't got the kind of delicate nature that some things often take. That's probably why him and Clovis never really saw eye to eye.
I mean, most of our problems get solved with hitting things these days. I don't know a time when it didn't.
Oh, well, sometimes it takes a little more than just swinging an axe at things, Jove. I thought you would have learnt that by now.
I did. I'm
Yes.
a monk. I'm a monk now. I
He's
know
not.
how to
You're
hit
a
things.
monk now.
I
He's
am,
not.
yeah. I know. She says that, but it's just because she's jealous. I trained under Master, the Great Master Vinces. He taught me how to do things.
Well, he must have been a very wise and prudent student to at least have fallen under such a watchful gaze of the Great Master Vinces, was it?
Yeah, Great Master. He's great. He told me so. He told me loads of stuff.
I'm very...
Michael picks up his Sudoku book again.
Prudent student. I like that.
Well, it's... I'm very proud of you, Jove, and it's very nice that you've taken time away from hitting things with your axe to grow a little, and...
I mean, I could just hit him better, but you know, it still works. I'm not as angry as I was. Not as, you know.
Well, that is good to hear. And what about the rest of you? I just
don't hit
assumed that...
anything with an axe.
Well, I just thought if Jove was a monk, then you may have all been other things now.
Oh, I cast light in my hand.
Well, that's new.
Aye. New tricks along the way.
How long has it been? 6 months or so? 9 months?
For you, 9 months.
Ish.
For us, 2?
3 months, 3 days.
2, 3?
Something like that? Well, you've come a long way in such a short space of time for you. This whole time thing is a very weird and peculiar thing to get my head around. So what is the
Yeah,
plan?
Trust me, it was even worse for us.
Don't go to the Feywild.
I
It's not
don't think
great.
it was. Michael, that's a bit insensitive. Have you seen around?
Yes,
The
I'd-
world
No,
is
I'm
in
just saying that the
disrepair.
time thing was
Oh,
very
right.
strange.
I thought you meant what we experienced. I was like,
Oh,
that,
no,
maybe not.
I'm-
Maybe stick back to Sudoku.
Well, I'm going to ask again because you... So yes, getting your orders from Stig, but what is the plan? You know me, I need to know. So that
Then
I
we
can
don't
go
know
then...
ask
yet.
the captain.
What's your plan?
Well, it all depends
Kind of
on what the plan is.
picking up
This
on
is why I'm
the
asking. I thought as
as well.
friends that we might be divulging plans together.
As friends who have not. Trust me, listen, Leosin, I understand, but a lot has changed. And if Stig wishes to divulge the plans, then so be it.
I
But
find
at
it
the
very...
moment-
I find it a very peculiar way of talking to me, with starting with the words "trust me, Leosin," and yet you're not trusting me. But that's fine. If that's fine. I wouldn't want to put you in a position that you were feeling uncomfortable with.
You can genuinely see every time someone tries to like interrupt and not give him information, Joe just goes and then stops as someone's like, actually, no, you're not going to tell. He's like, like trying to sense tone, but he just really wants to tell the truth.
That's
The
fine.
thing is that we received quite a harsh welcome coming in, and we are just trying to make sure that we are staying in rank for now.
Very well. Well, it's good to know that you have your heads in the game. Well, I have other business I need to be dealing with. Good to see you all.
And you.
Nice meeting
Lucy.
you.
I'm glad you're alive.
Me too. Although, Nessim, I have not seen him in some time. I sent him out a good while ago, and I've not seen him in some time, but I'm hoping that he turns up eventually.
I hope so too.
Well,
Do I know him?
no.
Ness? No, you won't do now.
No. Like,
I'm the only one who knows who Nessim is.
okay.
Well, for now, friends, I bid you good farewell, good luck, and I hope that we meet again.
Me too.
And he just kind of
See you
like
soon, Leosin.
nods his head and starts making his way off into the camp, leaving the four of you together.
Right. So what the fuck is the plan?
Going into the tent.
Yeah, let's take this
You see
inside.
Jove walk. You see Jove walk into the tent, grab a pillow, put it to his face, and go, "We're going up north to go to the Mire of Dead Men because we need to go and find out what is over there." And Stinger's coming with us. He throws the pillow back down, like, right.
I like that strategy, Joe. That was great.
That's
That was
brilliant!
great.
Honestly, he wasn't kidding. You've come a long way.
That was impressive.
Like genuinely 1,000-yard stare, like trying to right himself, like, why didn't we tell him?
I
Have you learned as much from me as I've learned from you, Joe?
don't hit
What did you
me.
teach me?
Or not understand.
Don't reveal all cards at once. Might get you
Oh.
killed.
No, I was inches away from telling him, but you kept getting in the way, and then I kind of felt if I did, you'd shout at me, so I stopped.
To explain, Hallie, Michael, and Jove, to be honest, obviously we were a lot more forthcoming with Orthar. I don't know why I felt this when we first met Leosin. He is a harper who collects secrets, collects information, and it's just part of what he does. So it may be me reading into things, but there was some elements, some information that somehow got back to an individual that jeopardized Jove, that jeopardized us all back in El Terrell. And I have my suspicions. I'm probably being paranoid and that I'm wrong. So
Came back
Don't-
to who?
Wasn't that well?
Brackus von Meer.
And then when she says, like, you know, he gets information and stuff, Joe goes and like leaves the tent, looks outside, and just sees if like Leosin is stood around. Just generally, like, he pokes his head out, looks around, checks the tent,
Nobody
walks
around.
back in.
There are loads of people around, but Leosin isn't
Yeah.
around.
I mean, he's not really
Do
checking the
I
heart. He sort of comes back
recognize-
in and
Do I recognize Leosin if I wrap my head around? And do I have any information about Harpers?
You've heard of the Harpers before. You know that the Harpers Guild are a network of essentially spies and information gatherers that work and operate throughout the realm of Faerun.
Right.
if it comes back and goes, well, he's not outside, so I think we're all right.
I had hoped not. But listen, it might just be my paranoia, okay? But it was just an inkling I had back in El Terrell.
I mean, he's just Clovis by a different name. I don't think he would spill secrets.
How dare you?
That's another concern of mine. But I don't trust easily, so
Have you checked in with our suited friend?
I tried
Recently?
earlier. I take up Sanderson again. Clovis, you son of a bitch. If you do not respond or cough or breathe heavily, I am going to find you and hit you.
Get no response.
Right, that's it. He's dead. As in, I'm going to kill him, not that he's dead. I don't have confirmation he's dead. He might not actually be dead. I'm fucking hoping he's not
You
dead.
have to be more careful with your words there, miss.
I mean, we told him not to walk off. He's doing what he's doing, I assume.
Right. How long do we have it tomorrow afternoon? Is that correct?
I sticks it around then.
Morning
Right.
after tomorrow, isn't it?
No, yeah, tomorrow you've got the whole day off.
Yeah.
Right.
The following day we'll be leaving
Oh, okay.
Okay.
afternoon / evening. Yeah.
So effectively, you've got like a day and a half.
Joe heard
So-
and listened.
Oh, I don't.
For the
Handing.
sake of brevity, because I don't want to role play a day and a half of you guys wandering around camp and
Yes.
that sort of thing. So, over the next day and a half, I'd like to know what each one of you are doing, spending your time doing, and if there's anything specifically that you want to do as a group during that time.
I was thinking about the runes. There's a blacksmith here. We might as well use the time to see if we can make use of the runes in some way.
Do I know of the runes?
Nope.
No.
No,
No.
you won't. Because they were found in the ruins of
Dwarf place.
Mithranor, dwarf place. Fucking hell, man.
Well,
Right. Have your notes nearby, please.
I have these two. And I take out of the bag of holding the runestone of flames and the runestone of good luck.
Yep.
These two both require forging, I think.
The all-
Yeah,
they
flames
all-
was on a
See-
weapon, right?
We had more than two, didn't we?
We do, but they were distributed. There's just the two that require forging are in the bag.
No, I thought there was three that needed four. I might be misremembering.
No, it's
So
only
I-
two that needed forging. You should have one, Jove, that you could just hold on to.
Should I?
Yeah, I
We
slightly
will
remember that we
look
were
back
giving
through the
one to you.
notes at the break, but
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go and we're sorting
when
runes
she
out.
pulls out the runes, Hallie will inform you all that she also speaks Dwarvish. So that's kind of cute. But it's cool.
You're right, Hallie. That is cute. And if you didn't already, I would give you inspiration for that. Because that was cute.
Yeah.
Hallie goes, I speak Dwarvish.
Just
We have the
An hour.
runestone of protection, the runestone of good luck, the runestone of featherfall,
Which
the
Clovis has.
warstone, and the flames.
Yeah, I thought it was the Warstone that needed forging, and that was the other one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
maybe.
Clovis has the featherfall one.
Yeah,
Mm.
Clovis has featherfall.
No, you go.
So if they're heading off to the forge, Hallie would probably like to pull Jove aside for a couple of moments.
I mean, Joe would probably be at some point just outside smoking.
Oh, for fuck's sake, he's got the bloody pipe weed.
Yeah, I
You
do.
forgot about that.
So, before we go into the RP elements of the next
Yeah.
day and a half, let's kind of summarize what we want to do as characters. So I'm going to come to you individually. It can be as long or as short. Just bear in mind you've got essentially you're all going to bed down soon and get the long rest. I want to know how you spend in the next day and then the following day. What you guys are doing as characters. So I'm going to come to you first, Michael. So you've got a day and a half. What is it you're going to be doing?
I'm gonna be heading to the forge.
Yep.
Trying to forge in maybe a rune on my sword if possible,
Okay.
and if allowed from the rest of the group. And then I would like to try to look for Gorgon.
Okay. No problem. I will come back to you shortly then. Ash, what are you going to be doing during your day and a half?
Okay, so Ash is. Well, first of all, Hannah's trying to find the linking herbalism thing. Ash is gonna probably head predominantly towards the kind of, because you said that it was kind of like an area for alchemists, herbalists, like the more the mage type of thing.
Yep.
So she wants to go there and have a look for ingredients.
Okay.
And then I want to try and make like a health potion or 2, depending on time
Okay.
allowance.
Yep.
And also while there is looking for any particular familiar faces that
Okay.
she recognizes.
Okay, no problem. I can still hear you. So, Stig, can you tell me what you're going to be doing in the next day and a half as I quickly run off to the little girl's room?
Make sure you mute your mic.
Stig will very much be... Oh, he has not muted his mic. This should be fun.
It's on his PC. It's fine.
Okay,
It's
fine.
not going with him.
Yeah, so Stig will very much just be getting everyone's in the know with the battle preparations. I'm not sure who we discussed would be actually at the camp. I think Nestra and Dagolt are probably there, so we would probably be having a meeting with them, as well as the people from the Order of the Gauntlet and whatever Harpers are around, giving them sort of the overall battle strategy for the assault on Waterdeep. He will not be including what he's doing in any of those briefings.
Okay.
Who would you say he trusts more out of Nestra and Dagolt?
Probably Dagolt. I don't think Stig would trust the Water Baron as much as
No.
Dagolt. Because I think just purely based on the exploits of Dagolt, you kind of have this like mutual respect for each other because you've been like, oh yeah. So you were in the trenches too, right?
And I know him, and in these stakes, he's very much above reproach, right? He's like,
yeah. So he's like the go-to command. Like even like other commanders kind of like see what he's doing and try to like mimic that sort of his behaviors and stuff. He's very much a commander of like soldiers and warriors.
So I would pass to him the information, solely him, afterwards, just loosely about what we're trying to do and to expect me to not be there, and at which point he will assume my command.
Okay, no problem.
And to make whatever excuse for my disappearance as he deems appropriate. And then just sort of I'd probably at one point go around a few of the camps and try and sort of give everyone a bit of a like, this is it, we're all in this together, sort of a little bit of a speech to a few of the men, just be among the men, be visible among the fighters, the men, women and folk who are participating in this assault, and bring myself down to their level.
Okay. I want just on that, I want you to roll me consecutively 3 charisma checks, just general charisma checks, please.
Okay.
General wisdom and general charisma. Okay.
No. A general charisma.
No.
Oh.
In general.
13, 9, and dirty 20.
Hey.
Nice. Okay, no problem. You do that, and you feel that the majority of the men are kind of roused by this, and like their spirits are a bit bolstered seeing the commander walk through, and it's very much like Russell Crowe Gladiator walking through, like banging people's like armaments and them going like that kind of stuff.
I'll instruct the quartermasters and kitchens to give additional rations and mead rations and stuff like that for the following evening, and to have those supplies prepared so that people can have either this evening if they're departing in the morning, or tomorrow evening if they're departing the next day with us, a good feast to march on.
Okay, easily done. So Hallie, we'll come to the RP bit in a moment, but what else is Hallie going to be doing during that day and a half?
So she'll take that moment in the morning, but then after that she is spending most of the day just she wants to walk amongst the camp and find the druids that she had seen on the way out. She's generally looking for... She's trying to find out what sort of druids they are, and if there are any of her kind there, and just spending some time with them, because it's been a very long time since she's spent any time amongst druids. Just general chatting and being with her people.
Okay.
and then heading back to the tent before nightfall to spend time with the group as well.
Okay, no problem. And last but certainly not least, Gove.
So obviously the morning he spent, well, part of it we've spent conversing with Hallie. After that, and seeing everyone sort of wandering through the camp, he'd take some time to start, in his own best way, trying to find specific places, sort of like maybe where there's, I don't know, sort of people preparing food or making drinks and stuff, and asking them if they know where some of the town guards or some of like groups of towns guard may have come back, or where some of the soldiers from Waterdeep during the first incursion may have escaped from, and asking for four specific names to see if anyone can just sort of guide him in the right direction, or if any come through. So Atha Stonefair, Brand Stonefair, Uncle Oates, because he doesn't remember his full name, and then Carmine Castamere. And he's just asking just general, like, sort of tavern-y people, guards, if they've heard the names, seen anything, that kind of thing.
Okay, no problem. Anything else?
I mean, he'd probably just admire some of the sort of the drill work, maybe try and look to some of the younger soldiers, try and sort of get in a little bit with them, just have some minor conversation, not, nothing like revelatory, but just how's it going, I saw that you swung your axe this way. If you lift your arm a little bit that way and swing it that way, you'd be hitting better, that kind of jazz, and then returning to camp.
Okay, so I'm going to come back to you one at a time, and we'll go through what you're all doing individually. So, Michael, you spend the first part of the morning, you head over to the quartermaster and blacksmith, who have set up relatively in the middle of camp. They are able to attach the rune, but not to your sword. They wouldn't be able to alter your sword in any way. They could do it with the Archeon blade, but wouldn't be able to attach the rune to that. Are you taking everybody's weaponry? Because we can deal with that in the break, and when we come back, we can say, okay, this is what everybody's got on their armaments and whatever. So that's fine.
Yeah.
You are able to do that in the allotted time that you have left at the camp. You spend the rest of the afternoon walking around and asking for Gorgon. Unfortunately, nobody has heard that name. There is one person that has heard that name and points you in a direction, but the individual they've directed you to is someone else with that name, and isn't the person that you're looking for, I'm afraid.
Right. And nothing about none of the Sens know anything about it either.
No, unfortunately not. And even if they did, you get the impression that they're not willing to give information up, and they seem kind of forthright to say that they've not heard of anybody by that name.
Okay.
Okay, next, Ash. You go and you spend a little bit of time trying to hunt out the alchemy individuals and people that are currently brewing. It does take you some time, because that sort of thing in a camp is often kind of frowned upon, because when potion and kind of potion making goes wrong, boom, happens, and they kind of don't like that sort of thing in and around cloisters of people. But you do manage to find them. They're kind of off on the outskirts of the camp, to the southwest, kind of the furthest way from the front line towards Waterdeep. Unfortunately, when it kind of comes to you getting ingredients, they are not willing to part with them. However, after kind of a long conversation, you barter your way to help them brew whatever they're brewing, because they are currently brewing potions and things en masse. And you offer to spend the rest of the day with them, helping them brew, in exchange for them giving you some. So go ahead and write me. You can write down that they give you 3 greater healing potions.
Okay.
2 normal potions of healing, and roll me a general alchemy check, please.
Hang on.
General alchemy check? We're not making that a thing.
Right, so 3 greater, 2 normal.
Yeah, and then make me an alchemy check, please.
Oh no, it's general intelligence.
Wait, is it herbalism or alchemy? Because I'm proficient with herbalism?
Herbalism. It would be a herbalism check.
Okay, so 19.
19. You kind of spend the majority of that day with them, and the people there, the alchemists there, are very impressed with how easy you kind of turn your hand to it. And just before, as you're handed the greater and normal potions of healing, you're about to leave, one of them grabs you, puts their finger to their lips, and hands you one superior healing potion, and literally like eyes to the door as if like, get out quick.
Ooh, baby.
And you manage to leave. And you then spend the rest of the time, I believe you said that you were also looking around the camp for people, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think like if he wasn't in the alchemy area, he's not gonna be there.
I know who you're looking for, and no.
Yeah.
That
so
he's not.
Basically, like, I think after that and spending the day with them, Ash is kind of just keeping low, keeping to the shadows. And it's just looking, because what's ringing through her mind right now is that leaks of movement have been getting out.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's just kind of wanting to vibe check to see if there's anyone acting especially suspicious or is doing their own thing. It's basically doing what she's doing, like keeping to the edges, keeping to the shadows. But it's just looking for anything in particular.
Okay. Make me a perception check. Paired with an insight, please.
Just a 5 on perception.
Yep.
And a 12 on an insight.
Oh, you see loads of people.
So
loads of people that seem sus, like loads, almost like too many.
Yeah.
That then kind of seeps in and go, am I sus?
Wait, am I being paranoid here?
Literally, like, because you're looking, you're like, oh yeah, they're up to no good.
the problem?
Do you know what I mean? You're like, they're up to no good. Wait, they're also up to no good. Why is everyone up to no good? And kind of...
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Ash is very much getting in her head about everything at the moment.
That's exactly it, yeah.
And so she's reading too much into completely regular behavior. She's not used to what a barracks or an army operates like. She's just seeing anything that doesn't seem normal to her and is going, you.
Yeah,
and then it's like, oh wait, me.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that.
I love hyper suspicious Ash on the edge of the barracks just going to every single 10, just like
exactly.
and go, what you doing?
Is it?
So that's the rest of your time. So Stig, you spend most of the time walking around the kind of garrison, kind of keeping the men's morale up. You do see that the morale does rise because it's not something that you typically do. They see you walking through, and often it's like when you come back victorious from a fight that people it's like, yes, our fearless leader has gone out and succeeded in his venture. But like seeing you kind of like, I know you said like lowering yourself to their level, but in that kind of respect, you're kind of like now boots on the ground walking around the garrison, Stig. It's kind of boosting their morale. You do come across Daggle, and you kind of pull into one side, relay the plan. He, on more than one occasion, questions whether or not you're doing the right thing. Are you sure you shouldn't be doing this? Like, this is not good. Like, if people see you leave and you're like, look, I trust you. I'm going to do the right thing. I need you to lead the assault. I wouldn't trust anyone else with this. I don't trust anyone else with this, and you're not to tell anyone else this. But I'm leaving because I need to. You're staying because you need to, and you managed to do that. You then spend the rest of the afternoon kind of walking around to all the first officers, ensuring that they know what the plan is, where they're supposed to be positioned on the march. When they get there, they're sort of what positions they have on the field, what siege weaponry is being taken by who, and kind of having your chessboard in your mind, walking around and ensuring that even each like commander and they're all moving in synchronicity to the way that you have in your head. You spend most of the day, it does take most of that the following day, kind of doing that. And then the following morning is pretty much you preparing yourself for the march ahead that afternoon. Hallie, you managed to spend most of the morning with Jove going over what you need to go to, which we'll go to in a moment. But then you head off into the garrison to find the other druids, who are spattered around the garrison. Most of them in little cloisters of like 2 or 3. Most of them not the same druid as you, but there are different druids. There are druids of the moon, druids of the stars. There is druids of the wildfire druids. There's all sorts, and you see most of them bear the sigil of the Emerald Enclave, who are the protectors of all nature and the guild that kind of look after the natural order of things more than most. But you do spend most of the day just in quiet conversation, kind of. Oh, you do. So when you kind of get in touch with nature, you turn into a bear. I've never heard of that before. Like when I do it, this has happened, and just kind of like trading like stories about like how you all connect to nature and like that kind of thing. It becomes very apparent that like a lot of the druidic forces that are here, although want to save people, it's the natural world that they have highest in their mind. But you do spend most of the day doing that, and it's quite fulfilling for you. And I think having a little bit of a break from the party to kind of get back in touch with your own druidic nature is something that kind of speaks volumes to you. So you do enjoy that. Jove, you spending the morning with Hallie, and then most of the afternoon walking around to most of the drill squares and helping some recruits, and most of them looking at you kind of wide-eyed, and like you get the impression some of them just really come to terms with what's about to happen, but like kind of get a little bit of reassurance, and having you spending that little one-on-one time showing them a couple of techniques, you see that they're like, right, okay. And it kind of like galvanizes their spirit, so to speak. Time goes by over the space of that day, and we will obviously fast forward to the afternoon of. But before we do, the morning of, you, Hallie, you kind of pull Jove to one side.
So yeah, as we are just like getting up in the day, and I see Jove, getting ready for the day,
I mean, that's very much just getting out of the cot and walking outside to smoke. Like, not just trousers on.
I know you see yourself mostly as a warrior, and I spent some time with some centaurs. I don't know if you know of those creatures in the Feywild. They had this tradition, I would call it. And I wanted to ask you, have you ever braided your hair?
He sort of looks down and...
Hell yes.
Oh, good morning to you too, Hallie.
Morning.
Yeah, he used to. For like special events. Well, I say special events. Good hunt. The hunt. Yeah, it was kind of it was something passed down from mother to daughter, father to son. How to keep your hair out of your face, how to do certain ways, sort of how things mean, that kind of thing. I used to.
Well, the reason I say it is that in the centaurs, they taught me that the more battles that they came into contact with and succeeded in, the more complicated they would make the braids of their hair and their mane. And it would be a massive disgrace if they ever disgraced the tribe, they would cut their hair to kind of show it to the rest of the tribe. And then they would have to earn that back. And I was wondering if you wouldn't mind if I taught you how to braid your hair, or if you would like me to do it. Because since we've been together, there has been many a battle or conflict, that you have come up quite favorably in.
Yeah, I mean, I know how to kill my way around a battlefield. I'm not. I'm no slouch. I mean, do I need long hair? Because I know mine's quite sort of long, but
No,
I
I
assume
can.
horse people have quite a lot of it in general.
In general, yeah. I can do it. If you just sit down and she just kind of just like
I bridged
no,
your
she
hand with a
doesn't
bow,
push him
remember?
down.
Oh no, I remember. I
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
She doesn't push him down, but she leads him to like sit down, and she's standing behind him because he is so much taller. You know, actually, no, she's not. She's tall, right? But anyway, she's going to stand
I'm
behind you,
taller. Yeah,
and
He's sort of like, oh, like still mildly uncomfortable by touch. He's like, oh, okay, sure. And he just sort of like slumps down in like a cross-leg position. Just like,
that's
do what
great.
you do.
And as she does, she just braided into like mohawk style. She's just braiding it straight back into different things. And as she does, she tells you about her time with the she's gentle. She tells you the time of the time she spent with the horses. And you once said about your name, about it being a star. And
yeah, it's a hunter star.
I did tell you I would tell you more about that.
Yeah, you did.
Well, Jove means Jupiter, and that actually stands for way more than a lot of people think. It is the protector, but it's also the reliability and the comforter in a lot of situations. So, as she's planned, there is more to you than your axe and the warrior. That's something to remember, the warrior and the axe, but also, and she takes off her earring, which is a little star. It's just like a little silver star. And she clips that into one of the braids and carries on braiding it. That's something to remember, that you are more than just your axe. You are a comforter. You are a protector. You are Jove. As she finishes up braiding your hair.
I know I tend to make myself one of two things, because it's the only thing anyone's ever really expected of me. I don't think I make people comfortable. I certainly know I don't make Ash or Clovis comfortable all the time. Mike, I'm not sure about, but I don't know what he thinks. I don't know. It's hard it's hard to be more than people see you as sometimes. And I've been seen as two things for so long that I just kind of accepted it. When I first got to Waterdeep, I couldn't even really speak common. Like, I had enough to get by, but not enough to make conversation or talk to anyone. And you say my name is it's Jupiter. No one's ever pronounced my name right. So I've spoke Orc in a long time. When they got me to get the letters in the right order to make what it says. The first one, they said it was a J sound, so it was Jupiter. It's not. It's Y. You go, and he sort of like Jupiter Aron. That's how you would say my name in Orc. But everyone just told me I was saying it wrong because it's a J sound, so it's Jupiter. And I just kind of had to go with it. Kind of everything. I just
can call you Yov if that would make you more.
No, because that sounds weird. That sounds weird now.
It's a little weird.
I'm used. Well, when you say my
George?
whole name properly, it comes out. But when you move it down to Jove, it's what I am now. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm used to being not as understood as I would like to be, so I let people assume what they want and then just be that.
I also think that we like other people to see us how we see ourselves. So you may be seeing things in others. You say they're uncomfortable with you and they don't see you as a protector, but that might be because you don't see it. And I see it. And I'm sure I'm not the smartest part in this party, that's for sure. So if I see it,
you're way smarter than me.
I can only imagine that they do too. Just let yourself believe in all of you, and they'll see it.
Maybe. That is what I learned. I don't know.
How do you like and she does try to find a shiny surface that she has about her. She probably finds, I don't know, like a tin can sort of thing,
Jove's genuinely looking for puddles, like.
And yeah, she finds like a one-size mess sort of, tin cans of sort of a shiny surface. What do you think?
So what does it look like? Like,
So
what's the
it's
specific?
a bit of a complicated braid, but it's sort of like 3 braids. One goes down the middle, and then the others sort of twist over it, going right backwards. And the earring's probably about there, so you can probably see if you turned your head.
He sort of like looks at himself and like this big smile sort of spreads across his face, and his tusks sort of push down over his lips, and it's very orky. Look, I've not seen I've not looked like this since the ball, but this looks like home, Hallie. This really does. I've not seen an orc look like this in a long time. Thanks. So you'll do a new one of these every time I kill something, or just when I kill something important?
Anytime you want me to make it more complicated, that you think you've earned another braid, I will. I'll come up with something new. Though it does mean I have to shave your head if you ever disgrace us, so just know that's what we're getting into.
I mean, I've seen plenty of bald orcs. I think we can pull it off. I'll just grow a beard. It's how it works. You lose it on the top, you grow it on the chin. As long as there's hair somewhere, you're okay. How about you tell me when I've earned it?
I like that.
You let me know when I've done protector stuff and been better, and then you can add something.
I will always inform you when you've done better. That's a deal we can always make.
Thanks, Ellie.
I do have some druid stuff to do now, but I will be back later.
As she says that, you just see Jay like, stuff.
So you guys go about your days, gathering and doing what you can, and the day comes to an end. You guys all gather and recount what's happened throughout the day with each other and get another long rest.
Nice hair, Jove.
None of my names popped up during the search by any chance, did they?
No, they did not.
No, that's fine.
Sorry.
That's fine. Just checking.
You guys have another long rest. The thing that strikes you all, because you've all been wandering around camp, is that things are starting to mobilize now. People are starting to pack down things like tents and clear away stuff and arm themselves, and everybody is, where they were walking around in common clothes, now all wearing their dress garbs. So if they have any sigils of their house or their guild, they are now wearing them. Everyone is getting in full armor and weaponizing themselves. Weaponizing? That's weird.
Yeah.
But it works.
They're being toxic.
Yeah. Fuck you, Stuart. That breastplate looks big on you. But you guys see that the following morning.
Just one thing quickly. Literally tiny. As everyone's fallen asleep, Ash just lying in bed, staring up at the tent. just once again like brings the sending stone. Night, Clovis. I hope you're safe. And that's it.
Grimquest just went, wow, armor shaming people.
For real.
Kind of a toxic
last
stream
year's
is this? So you guys all gain the benefits of a long rest again. If you haven't already updated your character sheet, please do so now. Prepare any spells that you require for the following day. All that kind of business.
I'm
I
gonna
can do
make
that.
my roll. I haven't rolled this session.
Mhm.
Yes, I will make
The
that
following
too.
morning, you guys all wake, gather every bit of your belongings that you've had laid out or not, and prepare yourself for the day ahead. The morning itself goes by pretty quickly. You see from even at the edge of your tent, the garrison is mobilizing. Hordes of soldiers are standing in formation and being marched out of the garrison out into the forest as the camp is emptying. You all gather your things towards midday and make for Stig's tent. You all gather, Stig, you included, outside Stig's tent, ready for what's about to happen, and you all start marching out of the garrison and through the forest. We're going to take a short break here. We're going to come back at around 1:45, so everyone at home, make sure you go get yourselves a drink, go to the toilet, do what you need to do. We'll pick this back up in around 15 minutes time, so yeah. Stick with us. We're going to find out exactly what happens next. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Thank you so much for being as patient as you have been with us. Why don't we jump into the rest of tonight's scheduled broadcast?
Why don't we do that?
Oh, I pressed the button and it didn't. But there we are.
How embarrassing.
So,
Oh
it was
my.
embarrassing. I'm a little bit... Probably talk to myself about that. So,
Yeah, have a word with yourself, Dan.
you guys heading through the forest, shoulder to shoulder with people of the Lord's Alliance, the Order of the Gauntlet, the free armies of Faerun, as they've been called, as they've been known to be called by Stig, who named them last episode.
You did.
He did name them.
They don't know that, but that's what they're called.
You guys head north, and the sheer volume of individuals here becomes clear. There are thousands of people marching. You guys are on foot for a good hour, 2 hours, if not most of the evening. Most of you start wondering when you're going to stop, but they do not. The armies continue on throughout the night. As day breaks, roughly I'd say about 5 miles from the city perimeter of Waterdeep, you see another force start to move towards you.
Stig, who is currently up on his hippogriff, you see him sort of lean back and to the side to Dagolt Neverember, who is riding beside him. And just speak a few words to him before sort of putting back on his hippogriff on the reins. And while still moving, allowing some of the troops to sort of march past him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he picks up, and he's kind of off to one side of where you guys are marching, and just glances back to catch one of your eyes, whoever he's able to make out.
Michael's staring closely towards Stig.
Never lost eye contact.
Yeah, basically. It's like,
I know I'm pretty.
you're not
Even
that
blink.
pretty.
As you kind of like look over and you catch Stig's eye, Stig gives you a knowing, like, nod to one side, beckoning the 4 of you over towards him.
Slowly
Kind of-
making our way towards him.
Roughly the same time, we'll say Neverember and a few of his personal guards kick up and start marching a little bit faster towards the oncoming army.
Ash kind of gives a nod to
It's like
Edredor,
simultaneous.
to Edredor, who I assume is relatively close, marching in tandem, and just gives a nod and kind of a smile before beginning to move with the rest of them towards where Stig's gesturing.
They follow.
Jove sort of looks to Edredor as well. If I assume he's in a sort of a position of power he doesn't want, and just like raises his axe and just gives him like the sort of the fist. You better fucking live. I saved you once, and then starts making his way.
You see, he kind of tries to make a bit light of the situation, so as he's walking and he kind of looks at both of you, kind of nodding towards him, he does a big smile and then over-accentuates his march. And then kind of like raises an eyebrow like,
I love him.
like marching on, and then just smiles and just kind of like kind of nods, puts his head down, and then just kind of like carries on marching normally again. But like as you kind of look over, he's just like, oh. making light of
What was that sound?
the march.
Minecraft villager.
Anyway, you guys. So that's the end of tonight's session.
No,
Shit.
That's what the
You
entire army
guys-
sounds like.
You guys start heading off, and you kind of start like looking over towards the oncoming army, and you notice that they're not cultists by any stretch. They're wearing kind of green and red garbs and kind of like tabards and stuff over their armor and all marching in formation. And kind of as they kind of approach, the armies kind of approach. Oh, I'll do this. Kind of approach each other. They kind of turn and start marching with each other to one side. And as the army turns, you 5 do not continue on the current trajectory, kind of like walking towards the back of the army and off to one side.
Whilst walking, Michael sat us up next to Ash and says, I mean, to be honest, it would be kind of interesting to see what this battle will go down. I don't think I've ever seen so many soldiers.
I mean, neither have I, and even just walking amongst them was overwhelming as shit. So I hope that they're able to, I don't know. Having an aerial view of it all would be interesting to observe, but also something that I don't envy them.
Stick, you overhear this comment about an aerial view.
And as he does, he just kind of glances back and he gives his hippogriff a little tap on the neck and sort of dismounts as he sees someone coming up from the other side. And as he sort of dismounts, someone from the other army just sort of picks it up, climbs on the hippogriff, and starts riding with the army the opposite way.
And what strikes you as odd is that this individual is a very poor imitation of Stig, wearing loosely the same sort of armaments and armor and stuff, has a glaive on their back, and has long hair, but has obviously like found some sort of like an oil to like stick it up a little bit. So it's just kind of like off to one side, but kind of up in a way, like kind of a real poor imitation, but from a distance you'd be like, oh, that's Stig.
Oh my god, this is Patroclus and Achilles, let's go.
And literally like climbs on, one knowing nod, and like fist on the chest towards Stig, and just kind of like moves, and the rest of you start walking off.
Okay.
Give the hippogriff a slap on the arse.
Of course.
Nice.
But then you all kind of walk off a little bit, and then...
Yeah, and I sort of lead them off the road, almost down into a ravine that goes up on the other side.
And when you get into that ravine, what are you doing?
I'll sort of say, all right, stay low for a little while. And I'll sort of wait until the bulk of the army starts to march past, to the point where it's just like the auxiliary forces and the people carrying the camp carts and stuff like that passing. And then I will say, all right, all gather around, and I'll grab Jove and Michael on the shoulders and sort of bring them in for a little scrum kind of thing. Come on. In you come.
Yeah.
Right.
Very hesitantly approaching.
Pulls him in.
Yeah, so, right. I'm going to give us a little bit more of a discreet way out of here, but don't be alarmed. It can feel a little bit funny at first, but once you sort of manage to steady yourself and manage to not get blown away, you'll...
Oh, fuck, we're
come
going
to it quite
teleport
well.
again, are we?
Yeah, we've done this before.
Not quite. And he pulls a necklace from out of his thing and clutches one of the beads and starts to murmur in Dwarvish.
Which I will
You
understand.
The cute one knows.
And it will just be a simple prayer to Moradin, asking him to give us passage through the skies, undetected from our foes, and lead us where we need to go.
No.
And I will cast Windwalk.
Classed.
I will
Oh my
cast
god,
Windwalk.
we're clouds.
And I will turn us all into clouds!
Holy fuck.
You assume a gaseous form, appearing as a wisp of clouds.
Is Ashes a bit more breezy than the others?
No.
But breeze.
I'm an air genasi. That's what I'm making an air genasi thing.
Yours is a little bluer than everyone else's. yours looks like a weird rain cloud. Look.
Tiny little storm cloud.
Yeah.
Crackling with thunder.
Exactly. Weird.
And as go on. I was just going to say, as we're all sort of in this scrum, we all just sort of go through and sort of in and out of each other, I guess. I can still speak in this form, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you? Oh.
Going to resident woman.
I believe so.
Yeah, you can. The only actions a creature can take are dash, though, so that's fine. So I will say, we'll move through the skies. You can travel at great speed like this, but only for a certain amount of time.
How long? Long.
I hate this.
Oh,
this,
don't start.
As long as we can. And you see, he kind of, his gaseous form kind of goes, and he up into the sky.
The slightly pinker one flies up to you. Follows you.
Jove genuinely looking stressed out at Ash and Michael. He's like, can't touch himself. He's trying to like feel things, and there's just nothing. He's,
Well,
what is this?
I travel at 50 feet a second.
I want to clarify, did you also cast it on Zayla?
Yes, I cast it to everyone present.
Okay. You all, for the sake of brevity, turn into this gaseous form and travel at great speed. Like, great speed. I think it's like 300 feet.
300 feet around, so 50 feet a second.
Woof.
Damn,
I mean,
that's
this
twice my speed.
This is slow for Ash, I think.
That is twice my speed. Even Ash is like,
And you
I reckon
can
you'd
hold...
probably take to it the easiest as well.
Yeah.
Essentially not.
So that
You just
spell
need-
lasts. That spell lasts a grand total of 8 hours.
hours, baby.
So as morning starts and the horizon starts to breach over, and the sun starts to come up, you all fly up in the gaseous form, and the sight that you had just mentioned, Ash, comes into full view. The great free army of Faerun in formation, marching towards a distant Waterdeep. And in that moment of you all seeing it, moment of clarity, a moment of, we can fucking do this. It's not just us. This isn't just our fight. And that comes washing over you like this calm wave as the breeze around you kind of passes through you all, and you all get this sense of calm and tranquility for the first time in a long time. Although the horrors of what's to come still linger, a sense of confidence and a newfound sense of justice and a can-do fucking attitude comes across each and every one of you as you start at breakneck speeds together, traveling a mile or two above the surface of the earth, northwest, past Waterdeep, over it, but with some distance away from it, but heading northwards. And as the coastline starts coming,
I would guide them as far away from Mount Waterdeep as I could, like go round Mount Waterdeep. That place is bad news.
Yeah, exactly. But you guys start heading off towards the coast. You don't head directly to the Mere of Dead Men. You head south of that. Rather than heading directly there, you all together head a little bit south of the beginning of the Mere of Dead Men, some 30 odd miles before the start of it, and you all... It takes you a good 2 or 3 hours of travel like this to get this distance, but it passes through and passes by quicker than you would imagine, really. You guys are all kind of like just floating about and kind of, barrel rolling as clouds and kind of in and out of each other, having a this is the most fun thing that you guys have actually had since some of you even went to the ball. This experience of just floatiness and buoyancy in the air, and
Hallie is 100% barging each, like trying to knock into the others just for the shits and giggles.
Since he started flying, whatever counts as arms and legs, you can just see Jove's he can't seem to quite right himself properly, so every so often he'll just spin around, and then his arms will flare, and he's just this very uncoordinated cloud moving at breakneck speed across things. I can't do this.
Tostig is flying with his arms by his side and a stern look on his face like Vegeta.
Fine.
What?
As you guys start getting tired, you guys have been on the road now a lot longer than 8 hours. You were marching for 3, flying for 3, up at least 4 or 5 hours before you even started marching. The day or the night as such, you've been traveling a long time. You're all getting tired, but you all start coming down to land. And
I'll drop it about 250 feet above ground.
Of course you do. The rest of you...
And you will
drop
begin
it for everyone?
For everyone?
Yeah, but if the spell effect ends, the creature descends at 60 feet per round for 1 minute.
Everyone. You're dropping it not just on you, everyone around.
Yeah,
Easy.
I'm just going to let us all fall.
Woof. And then you all, without notice, become into your real form and just...
Hallie freaks out a little bit.
And just start plummeting.
As soon as we begin to plummet, you see Ash grasp her staff, and you see her swing it around, and the feather that she had inset swoops out into Feather's wing, Feather's wing, and gently catches everyone and lowers everyone and lets Tostig fall.
Yeah.
Fuck him, dude.
You are all lowered to the ground through one means or another. Tostig kind of falling into
When you get to the ground, Tostig is just with the headline.
But you all gather yourselves.
Why did that stop so far up?
That's how we used to do things.
Who's
But I
we?
see if you... My old squad. They called us the Rocks.
Oh,
Because
I
you
get the...
kept falling.
Have you never heard the phrase?
Yeah.
No.
What phrase?
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
I hate you so much. I hate you so much.
Get out of the
So
party.
much.
Get out now.
I fucking hate you so much, Chris.
I think I prefer my method of transportation, to be fair.
It's remarkably strategically good. You drop in from high altitude. Get
Strategically.
slowed down just before the floor. No one knows you arrived. Take all their heads off before anyone even notices. It's a good strategy for a while.
Don't they see the giant dwarf in armor falling from the sky?
Not if you fall fast enough and from high enough.
Hallie's looking around to see if she sees anyone around. Or what she sees around more
Make me a
than
perception
anything
check, please.
Okay. Ooh. That is 27.
Fucking A.
You look around, and the first thing that strikes you is that this area itself is rather windy. You're right towards the coast. I'm going to just pull the map up and show you where you are. Showing the map, showing the map, showing the map to everyone.
DM vamping.
I
So,
was told I wouldn't need roll 20.
Yeah, me too. I'm just
No,
saying
no.
it.
oh, who told you that?
I already had it open.
So you guys have travelled from here. So now,
Just going to watch the stream.
Are you on the wrong layer? I can't see you pinging.
Yeah, I can't either.
I'm just
Oh,
moving
it's
the
where our token is. Calm down.
token.
Oh, okay, alright.
It's a big map. How you can't pick that out from height?
You are around
Oh, damn.
there. You've travelled from roughly here all the way over to here.
Okay, okay.
Very nice.
Too far then.
I mean, 300 feet a second,
big ass
like
map, so
6
yeah.
seconds. That's a lot of ground covered in 3 or 4 hours of travel. But you are all tired. You have all been travelling for some time,
We're EP.
and it is getting, even though it is kind of mid-afternoon now, you are all getting towards the end of your adventuring day.
Can I see anywhere that would be covered and not obvious to have a wee camp?
Well, Hallie would have been able to see that with your 27 perception, I believe it was.
Oh, sorry, I missed that.
So
Amiga
you see
27.
that there's nothing around in terms of people. There's nothing. There's
Okay.
nobody around. This is quite a. You see that it's not a bog as such, but it's kind of like desolate grassland, full of small hills and troughs. But there are crags of rock formations around that you would be able to kind of like bed down underneath and stuff out of sight.
Cool.
Are we right on the water?
No.
Okay.
No. This map isn't to scale of. And
No, I just wanted to make sure.
No. So you are by the coast, but you're a good mile or two off the coast. But anyone that's been a mile or two off the coast still knows that the winds pick up quite a lot around here. Stig, I forgot to mention, but you did pick up those things that we talked about. You have them on your person.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Well, tomorrow I don't think we'll be able to fly in quite such an expeditious manner. Up that high and at that speed, we might miss what we came for, so it'll be on foot from now on.
So we've done it so far. Shouldn't be too much of a
So-
problem.
Not today, right? That was a lot of walking for one day.
We've
Wait.
marched all night and the sun's nearly up. Let's find a cave or a crag or some rocks to nestle within.
Well, there's some over there. I can see them. So
That'll do nicely. And Stig just sort of puts his big glaive over his shoulder and starts trotting over there.
Okay.
Anyone want to join me for hunting for provisions, wood, things
No.
like that?
I've everything we need.
Oh.
Do you?
I do.
Right, never mind.
Good.
Hello.
Go on,
Carries on marching off.
Yeah, you make your way over to the area that we have just described. So this kind of like overhanging rock crag that's got, it's a good 20 or so feet up, but kind of like hooks over, kind of giving a bit of half cover underneath it. And the closer in you do get to the stone wall, the drier it'll be.
I'll begin sort of setting up my bedroll.
Mm-hmm.
Grab a couple of nearby logs, chuck a bit of pit,
Wait,
set
we
them on
only-
fire.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there was. I was like, there was a whole thing about bedrolls. Then we decided it didn't matter. I was like, who's got a
We all
bedroll?
have
It does not
bedrolls.
matter.
Yeah. So Ash does the same. Hallie does the same. She doesn't put it too close to the fire, but just a little bit outwards, so to sort of spot if anyone's walking past in any way. So she's strategically laying her bedroll out just a little bit, not out, but just on the edge.
Sorry, go on.
No, you go first.
At some point, once he's chucked everything down, I'll spend 10 minutes to bring back my hippogriff.
Cool. As we're walking into the cave, Jove picks up a couple of fairly sharpish looking sticks. And then when he sees that a fire is being made, he sort of looks through the bag of colding and takes what few things he has left, like one last chicken, a few fruits and vegetables and stuff, and just spatchcocks it, shoves it on a stick, puts it over the fire, starts making some stew for everyone. He just starts getting a little bit of home in this place. He just starts to cook a little bit and looks over and goes, "Well, we're all gonna be hungry and we're all gonna need some food. Might as well have a nice one before we go fuck about over there."
There is a no meat option, I presume.
Oh yeah, I didn't put it in the stew. Don't worry.
Thank
I know you
you
two don't eat, food.
I'll have what they're not having.
I mean, there's not a lot. There's not a lot of chicken. If you can go out and find me some rabbit, maybe, or
He gets out.
deer.
He goes into like his like packs and stuff like that, and he pulls out kind of like this little box thing. And he goes into it, and he pulls out like a piece of paper that has some cooked chicken in it. That's just very slightly about to go on the turn, as if it got cooked yesterday, and he's packed it up for the road. And he just slings that over to you. So for what good it'll do.
Joe's like, "Yeah, it's not bad." He sort of like slices it open, puts it over the fire, and turns it a little bit just so it gets a bit of blackening on it, and it crisps a little bit nicely. And he just, "All right, everyone, let's start, shall we?" And he starts putting vegetable stew in for like little bowls for everyone, and then just throws the chicken on something mildly clean that would be considered a plate, since we don't actually have any. And just, it's not much, but it's the best I can do. My bag is empty now. It's not been like that for a while, but it's still cold. So if anyone gets hot, stick your head in.
I can maybe do some hunting soon and help you refill that if needed.
You hunt, even though you don't eat it.
Food's food, and I know that an army doesn't do well without food, so
He generally rips off a chicken leg and just holds it towards you.
I suffice with this. Actually, the stew smells absolutely lovely.
Yeah, no, it's good, isn't it? I'm a good cook. I know.
Also, you can lose your ability to digest meat if you haven't eaten it for a long time. So
Oh, that's just
I never
a
heard
myth. If you
that.
just keep eating it, it
Aye.
comes back into it. It just kicks back in. You just have to eat more. That's the trick. That's what I was told.
I'll stick with the stew, but thanks for the offer.
Like he's
Well,
generally
oh.
like stripped the thing down and just thrown the bone somewhere.
We have the weirdest conversations from time to time, but it is quite nice to, focus on other things for a little bit.
It's the funny thing about this conflict. So you bring people together, and even amongst all this, we'll talk like old friends around the campfire. I've got something that might be a little bit more to your taste. And he takes the lid fully off the little box that he got the chicken out of, and he pulls out a few bottles.
Hallie's eyes genuinely light up.
Brown
So
brown bottles, corked more with like a bit of cloth stuffed in the top of them, sort of thing.
Molotov
And I-
cocktails.
Not like hanging out
I
the
was
top, but just
thinking-
kind of just wadded
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuffed
yeah.
in the top. And he like throws one across the fire to you, Hallie.
I catch it. Hopefully.
Good stuff, that. And he pulls the thing out one, takes a few swigs, passes it over to Michael.
I
Thank
do
you.
the same and hand it to. I suppose I was speaking to Joe, so to Jove.
That's what.
That's quite a taste to that. I like it.
She's holding up both of her hands.
Jove generally puts a hand up and just sort of pushes the bottle ever so slightly. I don't think that's a good idea. Not today. Gotta be ready for the morning, so.
We need to be ready for now.
One won't hurt you though, Jove.
What we need to be ready for now.
That's the weird thing about this whole thing. These armies coming together. You take a scholar from Candlekeep and a pickpocket from Neverwinter. You put them round a campfire, good bottle in their hand. Tell them it might be the last night of their lives. Within 20 minutes, you won't be able to tell one from the other. And we're all the same. We're all just coming together, no matter who we are, where we came from, where we started. We're side by side now, united for a common cause. Noble and pauper, makes no difference. Around that campfire with that bottle in their hand, on the last night of their lives.
Well, I'll drink to that. And she literally Oh, yeah, I gave it away already. I'll drink to
Ash has just
that.
got two straight in both sides of the mouth, just downing.
Yeah, she's probably like done a massive chug of whatever this is.
I don't mean it to sound miserable. It's actually one of the more beautiful things that have come out of this conflict.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Those we drink, eat, sleep side by side, fight side by side, potentially die side by side. They become bonded together.
Isn't that weird though?
It is weird,
No.
but
A continent that's been so divided for so long. Factions against factions and cities against cities. Clans against clans.
you're telling me, was it easy?
You did a good thing.
Many people did
Bring
many
people-
good things. I know it's levied at my feet, but I put the call out initially to close the gates, turtle up. Not everyone listened, and well, once water deep, people's minds changed, but there were many other people who did.
Takes an army.
It does.
Or just a few good men.
That too. And I've
That
fought side by
trying.
side, and drank side by side, and ate side by side. With every man, woman, and folk that I could. And so, it's an honor to drink, eat, fight, and perhaps fall side by side with the fallen. And he just raises one of the bottles to the sky and just looks into the fire. Has a big swig.
It's to making heads roll.
There'll be an absolute avalanche, don't worry.
Yeah, well. You know,
So go on then. I've heard tell of some of your tales. From Greenest to El Torel. On mischief
Oh,
in
let-
caravans and
I'll
some.
let those two do the talking. Me and
Well,
Harvey are
I've-
quite new.
I've heard enough about all that. I want to know what you were up to before all this happened. Before destiny and fate gobbled you
You
up.
wouldn't believe me if
Back you
I
back out
told
in
you.
my tent.
I think he would.
Try me. And he takes another big sip.
To be fair,
I
would.
was lying in a coffin with a sword stuck to my chest.
That doesn't.
Jove looks,
that-
at, Jove looks at Matt and goes, they didn't take the sword out when they put you in. They just left it sideways and then built around it.
that doesn't
No,
sound.
they did take it out, but they placed it upon my chest.
That doesn't sound like the beginning of a story to me. That sounds like the end of one.
Well, it was the beginning for me.
Ash kind of gives Michael a side eye while taking another swig.
Ali has now moved towards Ash and she's like just taking the bottle off her now. Please share.
I do want to just point out, I love how method you're all going, because every time you're all saying, you're all like, hey!
I really want to drink now. I wish I had a beer in the drink.
Thing is, I was dead 4.5 years ago. Came
Well,
back. Not exactly sure how, but
sometimes
I
we never
received a
know
vision.
how. A vision. Powerful things, them.
Seems like.
And what about you?
Crawled my way out of the ground. Found these people.
Well, not much to tell, but an interesting story nonetheless.
My
What about you,
story's
then?
my story's not as interesting as his, I would fear. But happy to tell. I spent the last couple of years going to and from here and there, collecting people that weren't supposed to be where they are.
Where's here and where's there?
She does give a little look to Ash. Mainly the Feywild.
I'm sorry, you said your story wasn't going to be as interesting.
I suppose it is more interesting. I don't like to think of myself as interesting, but I guess it is. Yeah, I picked up people, returned people, fought pesky bloody fairies. But yeah,
It's a
that's what I
light-hearted
did.
story compared to the rest of us.
I mean, I don't have anything against fairies. She's like looks around. She's like, I don't have anything against fairies in general. There is one fairy that I can bloody stand. He does my job. Well, no, he makes my job bloody awkward. But yeah, I had fun. To be fair, it was. I suppose on the grander scheme of things, it was important, but I never really got that end of the story. I was just told, go here, get that, and I did. So I kind of kept myself out of the grander scheme of things, and I enjoyed it. Oh, my headphone just fell out.
I thought you bought ear hooks.
I did, but the other set of earbuds ran out of battery. I just put these ones in. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I enjoyed my time in the last couple of years. I now kind of regret being away from home as much as I did. I don't know if the others have said, but I'm originally from Belloc, so I missed what was going on down there. My parents, my brother, what few friends I still have.
I understand what feelings you might be having about not having been there. But believe me when I tell you, it's a damn good job you weren't. And your family would have been glad you weren't either.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. My family aren't fighters. Well, my brother was a bit of a rascal, but me being there would only have put him. He would have wanted to protect me, I think. So I don't know what fighting he did. I'm glad I wasn't there to split his focus.
What about you then, big fella? You said you were from the northern tribes?
As people have been talking, Jeff's just sort of been like pushing the fire around a little bit and throws the stick in. No,
Dad at the
South.
barbecue. Yep.
Exactly. Making sure the burgers are flipped just right. No, I'm from the south, originally. Just, near the Forest of Thorns, I think, or I don't even remember anymore. In the shadow of a mountain. A couple of years ago. About half my life ago, so 8, 9 cycles of the seasons. Dragon came, wiped them all out. What few of us could get out. That made our way to Waterdeep. and I never really settled in there very well. I had some family that tried to take me in, but I was a fucking handful back then. It's hard to control someone when you can't really speak to them that well. But I had a few people. I don't know if they're still there. I hope they are. But yeah, we kind of didn't. I left Waterdeep on not the best way. Some stupid fucking argument about me going easier on people I was trying to arrest. They tried to enroll me in the guard. I really wasn't that good at it because, well, orc law is a bit different to people law, so...
This is news to me. You were enrolled, well, sought after to join the guard.
Well, yeah, I don't really talk about it that much. I know.
I spent some time in the city's guard.
Hattie just
So-
pipes up. Protector.
Up in Neverwinter as a young man. Wasn't for me either.
I mean, like I said, I'd lived most of my life in the wild. I'd never been around cities. I'd never been in buildings properly. I'd never really experienced the way you do law and the way you do order and the way you live. And it was all kind of stupid to me at the time. And some of it still is. But my Waterdeep dad, Rand, he wanted to try and straighten me out and give me something to focus on. So he said, I'm going to enroll you in the garrison. You're going to train, you're going to learn. Arthur thought it was a good idea too. She was my Waterdeep mom. She was harder than him. She could hit like a fucking cart. And they got me in, and that was good. I could cut through a training dummy like you've not seen before in your life. And people never squared up to me because, well, I was 14. I was the size of at least 5 men. And as aggressive. But I went too hard on a lot of people and maybe took a hand or two when people did things they shouldn't have. And it got me in a lot of trouble. And I knew I was making trouble for them, but I couldn't understand how to do things. That's when Uncle Oates would help me. He had a bar and he let me stay, and he understood a little better, I think, or he just pitied me, I don't know, but he was nice. And then one night I got really angry about something. I don't even know what it was. Someone said something to me or looked at me weird. It was anything back in those days, and I went for him and spent a night in the lockup. And when Uncle Oates finally got me out, and Brand and Atha came to scold me, I said I couldn't do it, and I wanted to go somewhere, and they screamed back and they said, "Fine, if you want to go." So I kind of just did, and I don't think I've been back since. So I was kind of hoping to get to Waterdeep before what happened, because I owe them a lot, and now they might be dead. But
Well,
after that,
whatever. Go on.
No, it's after that I bartered my way down south. I wanted to go home. I wanted to see if there was anything left of where I used to live. I needed to know if anyone survived or if there was just a camp I could live in. Even if it was on my own, I don't know. I just wanted to go home because I didn't have one. So I bartered my way down south, traveled with small caravans, merc groups, whoever needed axe work doing. And I picked up some stuff, learned a bit of common, learned how to interact with people. So I picked up a lot of, like humor and stuff. I didn't know how to be funny at the time, and now I do. And I don't know how to...
Looking forward to seeing that.
Me too.
Shade.
I'm not telling jokes. Oh, crap. They did tell me how to do it. I thought I thought it was funny.
For what it's worth, the man who sits before me today seems well put together, formidable, and driven to a goal. I'm sure your parents, Waterdeep parents, whatever you want to call them, will be proud of the man you've become.
Wow.
Jove, even since Candlekeep, you have grown into yourself. I know we've had talks before about who you are as a person, but as someone who's only known you for a short amount of time, the change in you is astounding.
Well, that's mostly down to you and Bovis, Feathers, and B-Tones, and I wouldn't be here now doing what I do if I didn't have all of you. I know I held on way too hard to a lot of things. I tried to keep everyone together, and no, I can't do that now, but I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be alive. Or if I was, I'd probably be locked up somewhere. So
It's hard to let go of the things bringing you stability.
that's why I never let go of you guys.
By the sounds of things, our friend Jove here isn't the only one who's changed quite a lot on this journey. The girl who sits before me sounds nothing like the mischievous, slightly arsehole-ish person that my young nephew used to tell me about.
Oh, trust me, she's still an arsehole.
I
At
can.
times.
We all are, to be fair. It's kind of our thing.
I would have never imagined such wise words coming from one so crass.
I don't know. I think my life has been a whirlwind of bad thing after bad thing after bad thing, and then I found a good thing, and I found a good thing in your nephew, and I didn't know how to deal with that. I threw barb after barb at him, and he could meet me head on, and he was the first person who seemed happy and fine and accepting of who I was and could see through me.
He gets that from my sister, his mother.
I don't know. I have more often than not, I run away. It's what I've always done. The night, I was on the streets for a long time. And I wasn't alone. I had someone beside me in the later years. And she was incredible. She was too incredible, and I ran away. And in doing so, the same night, I was attacked by men in cloaks and dragon rings. Fortunately, the great Master Vinces found me the next morning, took me to the monastery. I spent 5 or so years training, hating, waking up every morning, hating the drills, hating the cleaning, hating it all. I hated how regimented it was. But it was a roof over my head. It was routine, consistency, and I rejected it for a long time. But after a while, any answers I was looking for about who those figures in the night were, there weren't any leads in the High Forest, so I made my way down south, seeking out the libraries, and I've never been a studied type, but where else to go for answers other than books or people? So I went, interweaved myself with various crowds, tried normality for a time. The whole relationship settling down thing wasn't for me. Kept moving. Ended up in Candlekeep. Ended up finding these guys.
See, it's
Still,
interesting, isn't it?
Hmm.
All walks of life, different backgrounds, different circumstances, serving a common goal and becoming family in amongst it. It's incredible what such diversity can do to bring people together.
what about you? Give us a bit of your story, Captain Stig.
Oh, what's to tell about me? What
You
you see
were
is what you get.
a member of the Rocks.
You
Yeah,
move in
the-
clouds. I mean, there's a lot to say, I would say.
Well, the clouds wasn't our usual method. Old Beakbert here, he was my primary means of transportation to the drop zone. We all had griffins, or hippogriffs. We would
Oh,
fly,
that's what they're called.
fly at high altitude, behind enemy lines, fall from the sky. And when we hit the ground, nothing survived.
So you just
Until-
landed on people.
We landed and then we did our job. All until it didn't work anymore. We were attacking a caravan, much like the one you travelled with. We made our way to the position, dropped on their heads, but they were waiting for us. They knew we were coming. And one way or another, be it to injury or death, none of them made it back. None of them but me. And so the Rocks are no more.
I know how that feels.
Do you?
To be the last of your people. Yeah, I understand.
And just because they're gone doesn't mean the rocks are no more. We carry those we lose with us.
The Rocks will fall again.
Okay, someone take that off her. Like, I mean, I think she's
I
had
grab it.
enough.
I grab it off her.
Thank you.
It's more. I mean, we all know what we signed up for, but someone warned them we were coming. You can understand now why I'm a little bit wary of newcomers, especially those so close to our military operations. I've not taken a chance since, not till I met you lot.
Michael's gonna give quite a strong look towards Ash
Mhm.
and just sort of slightly nod his head, as in, I think I know what you're thinking.
Do I notice this? Because they are just like in front of us.
I mean, they're not hiding it, so
Ash is definitely not
Yeah.
hiding it. She's drank so much of that. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
She's like,
Big is just staring into the fire, so he doesn't know, is it?
As Mike does this, Jove just you see a small squint go your way. Just like,
Your
what are you
friend,
doing?
the one that you departed to save.
I
I know a lot's happened since then. And I'm sure amongst you, you may feel some pang of guilt or responsibility for that. But let me tell you, there's nothing that haunts you more than leaving a friend behind. Be glad that you saved yourself from that, at least. And he just kind of just stares into the fire, goes a bit quiet for a little while. But, like I said, we're all in this together now. Despite our many varied backgrounds and our reasons for starting on this journey, we now sit round the fire with a good bottle on what might be the last day of our lives. So, I suggest we enjoy it. Because we're all fighting on one team now. And together, that scholar from Candlekeep and that beggar from Neverwinter, they can win. As long as they fight side by side, they can win. And so can we.
I agree. On the air of transparency, there is one thing that you might not know that the others do.
Now's the time.
I feel it is. I mean, I get that I'm learning that not hiding, but withholding things can be necessary sometimes. But I feel that we should be going forward completely open book, if you will. So with that, I do have an item in my possession that I don't want you to find if we do go forward and freak the fuck out.
What are you referring to?
Hallie, do not bring it out. You can describe it, do not bring it out.
I was going to do so. I have a certain item that I believe. I don't know if it belongs or.
Can I pump out Detect Good and Evil, please? While she's talking.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You don't sense any celestial, undead, aberration, fey, or fiend.
Okay.
Oh, that's the first time I've remembered all 5.
Hey!
I'm impressed.
Growth!
You can have inspiration, Daniel.
I prepared
Thank you.
that spell, forgetting that we had a paladin now. That was a bit useless.
So yeah, I found this item a while ago. I've been told that it has lit ties to this army that we are fighting. But as I said, I want to go forward 100% open.
And the formalities. And just tell me what you've got.
Hold up. And Ash will take out her sketchbook, which has a pristine sketch of the dragon mask.
Do I recognize it, DM?
No, you don't, player.
So,
That's quite lovely.
no,
What is it?
it's not.
I meant the picture.
Oh, thank you. That's
It's
another
a very good likeness.
Thank you. Clovis has this quill which basically photocopies things. It kind of takes away from my art, but you know, it is what it is.
What's a photocopy?
Yeah, it was a photocopy.
You know,
What's a
I've
photo?
invented it. It's canon.
It's a copy.
Okay, so if we're being open about this, Hallie revealed that she had possession of one of these mid-combat, which was a bit of a distracting revelation, to say the least. But essentially,
Oh yeah.
we also have one of these.
And what do they do?
A green one. I'm getting to it.
Red. Wasn't it red?
No,
The one
we have the
That's
green.
green.
Okay.
Green.
Sorry.
Sorry, you just all seem to have a way about describing things. Just out
They're
with
not
it.
very. You'll get used to it. They don't really like to say things straightforward. It's more of a roundabout
do.
way of getting to stuff.
Okay,
I have a
fine.
white
You
one.
want
Then
my
you have a
arm
green
leads
one.
me to Mask. Mask is bad. Mask brings about big bad. If
I mean, you
all
don't have to be
masks
stupid about
together,
it. You can just be normal.
And we're transporting these potentially into the hands of the cult.
that's why I'm saying we don't show them.
Ash is immediately triggered, and I can feel it.
Yeah. Checks out. Checks out.
Don't show them. There's nowhere safe that I trust to keep them. I've got one here, and she's got one in there. I don't think that should be there, but I don't want to unite them.
Well, that's why
How
we
drunk are you
Should we
from
just bury
a-
them?
What am I?
How drunk are you from a scale from 1 to 10 right now?
0.
I mean, should we just bury them then, or what?
No.
Why?
Because-
Someone else could.
That's not a bad idea.
No, it is because right.
I love how I have the Clovis feathers relationship, but with Joe now. Actually, that's not a bad idea.
No. Okay. So right, I have a theory. Okay,
I have a theory.
it could be
Sorry.
bunnies. So, something happened to me that night. They did something to my arm. The same arm that pulses when these masks are near. What if other people are also weird little mask detectors? If we bury them, you could just go around like this, and she literally stands up and starts going like this with her arm. And find them.
Just want to be. Well, why am I Australian? Hang on. I just want to be absolutely
100%
clear.
sure, mate.
We're in the middle of fucking nowhere here, mate. What are you talking about? No one's got. We are in very
Struth,
remote.
mate.
We are in very remote area,
Right.
and where we're going potentially is less remote. I'll leave it up to you. I'm not trying to change whatever plans you have. Like I said, we're
I
traveling
didn't even
as
know
a
they were
team.
important. I didn't even know they were important. I had it. I hoped it would help, like, do something cool in the fight.
And where
But,
did you
uh,
Where did you find this first one?
My one.
It-
Brackus von Meer's house. That was weird.
Aye, do you know the name Brackus von Meer?
I think I do, don't I, Damn?
Sorry?
Yeah.
I think I do, don't I? Damn?
Do you know Brackus von Meer? Is that what you
Have
asked?
I heard of him? Yeah, have I heard of him?
You'll have heard of him.
The name rings a bell, but what's his part in all this?
Working with the
Yeah.
cultists, like a
He tried
little
to kill. He tried to kill me. Yeah. He lived in Elturel for a while.
I think it was
No.
Ulthar that mentioned it.
He didn't live there.
Yeah.
He was there for the ball.
Oh, that was right.
He
Well, he was doing.
lives-
He
I
was
heard
there
about
for
that.
some reason. Yeah.
I heard about that.
Scornabell? See Scornabell?
I tend not to get that far east.
You travel from Darkhold to Eltrail.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What? Who travelled from
What?
Darkhold to Elturel?
Brackus von Meer?
Yeah.
Nope.
Didn't he?
No.
No.
You are really trying to fuck us up, man.
He keeps saying shit.
Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
He went from Scornabell.
It was Scornabell, yeah.
Okay,
well-
Scornabell. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why we said he
I'm
was
confused.
Scornabell.
The thing is, that
Oh.
you keep doing this, and in my head, I'm like, did he? Is that what
I was pretty sure they did, but okay, never mind.
Did he?
No.
Did I say that? Because I have a habit of saying stuff.
You do. That's true.
I feel like I've put the sort of fox amongst the pigeons as such. If
What?
Understood.
Fox.
Yeah.
Frogs?
the
Frogs amongst the pigs.
Fox. I thought you
Oh.
said the frogs among the pigeons.
Anywho,
I take the ball off her again.
I yeah, I just wanted to let you know that I have this in my possession. I mean, it doesn't do anything for me, so I mean, I won't be putting it on again. But just in case you came across it, I wanted everything to be on the table. If there was any other secrets in the party that anyone else wants to share, feel free.
What we should do. And it is a good plan, okay? Well, I don't know if it is. I think it is. So, right, when you go into this bag, you have to know what you're reaching out.
Okay.
Just put them both in the bag. You don't know we have
And
them.
bury the bag.
No, I need the bag.
It's got all the cool stuff in it. But you said you didn't want to. You didn't want to unite them.
No,
Actually,
I think it's more.
Betty in the bag does sound like a
No, would you both?
Genuinely
Shut
sounds like
up.
a very good idea.
I.
I like this dwarf.
Oh,
Not a
that could
dwarf.
actually be a.
This short human.
I mean, I'm happy,
Just
and
humans,
she
fine.
does now feeling the effects of the alcohol.
Or just-
She's
or just
consumed quite
Captain
a
Stig.
lot. She does just then take it out and hand it
Yeah, you
to
human?
Ash.
Okay, you hand it over to Ash.
Yes.
Oh fuck. Is
Okay.
my arm pulsing or is it okay right now?
It is.
Wait a
little
minute.
bit.
Wait. What are you two doing? Oh, we were just having a chat around the campfire. What are
Hold
you-
on. Because I thought he was a dwarf, but he's not. He's just like a short man. That's weird.
That's not what I'm talking about. That's not
No.
the emerging situation.
Phalanx isn't a dwarf either.
Can I just I'll cast protection from good and evil on Ash.
I can do that too.
No, you
She
don't.
mutters, she cries.
Well, no, you don't have to.
Take it off or make her do it.
No. And I'm gonna put it in the bag of holding.
When she does this, does my sword pulse? As in,
Okay.
Entirely up
dude.
to you, my guy!
Wow.
because
we all
it
wear
has a
masks for
connection
things,
to
but
her
jeez.
arm. Jesus Christ, people!
It's that kind of party. Cool.
Oh,
They're standing in
for
the
crying
corner.
out loud!
No,
I'm just gonna shut up.
you're
I'm just gonna shut up.
I
you're
mean, look, he said, enjoy it like it's your last night alive. Let's go.
How do I put this? Is it going to be weird? Your sword
Always.
lays dormant in your hand.
Oh no,
Cool.
he needs the pill.
Thanks.
You do not get any reaction. No, this is going to be weird.
Can I cast bless on him?
It's going-
Guidance!
Guidance.
Remove
No, this is how you
curse.
do it.
Yeah, remove curse.
Okay, move forward, people.
No, you don't get any reaction from the weaponry at all.
Okay.
What about my
Cool.
arm? Am I good? Is it just when I'm in my? Do I
Once
get
you
the
put
sense
it,
of swim?
once you put it back in the, once you put it in the bag of holding,
Old
it
person.
goes.
So it is pulsing when I pick it up.
Yeah.
Right.
But only lightly, like and it's
Lightly,
kind of
yeah.
like a fast heartbeat, like dudum, dudum,
Yeah.
dudum, dudum.
Okay. Okay. Well,
I'd keep them under your belt if I were you. As in, not for anyone else to see.
I didn't really want to bring it up anyway.
I'm
but
glad you did.
Somebody wants to be honest.
Anything else,
Well,
any
yeah,
of you lot?
'cause
Is there anything else any of you want to bring up? Anything I should know?
Insight check on that noise she just made.
This is going to get derailed really quick, I imagine. So, for the sake of brevity, is there anything else anybody else wants to do during this evening?
I just want to know what this inside check is because there is a reason for the.
Oh, was there? I thought it was just
Yeah.
you, like, flapping. Oh, then roll an insight check.
I'll do it as well.
Oh,
21.
weirdly, I'm proficient with insight.
And then roll me a perception? I don't know what you're trying to do.
Let's
Nothing.
wait to see.
Hmm?
No, I've rolled.
Okay.
It's me.
19.
19. Do they both get a sense of what?
Yeah, they both get a sense that I am like as I am like looking anywhere but Michael.
Having seen Michael make his minor head gesture earlier during the conversation, he's just going to look between the two of you and he's gonna, all right, what is it? I know you two spend a lot of time in Clovis' room, so there must be something going on between you.
Come on, we're all
that might
like
be
I said.
private.
Well, if it's private, it's private. But remember, the scholar and the beggar. Nothing unshared between them. And we fight together.
I worry that we need to maybe disguise you. Michael.
Guys, me, yeah. I was kind of thinking that too.
So there was a little
Turns
bit more
out-
that happened before you woke up dead.
Well, when I woke up dead 4 years ago, I didn't have any memory of who I was. And to be fair, I don't have much memory now either. But a while back, we traveled to a ruin called Mithranor. Inside of there was a runestone and a blue phoenix.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Whilst talking to them, the phoenix, they told me that if I touch the runestone, it grants me power. I said I didn't care about that, I just wanted to know who I am. And like so many others have already warned me, they said that maybe sometimes you don't need to remember. Some things that are forgotten might best be forgotten.
For some,
Being
maybe.
that, I touched the rune and I saw memories. That eventually, thanks to Clovis and Ash, in Clovis's room, we figured out that both me and Clovis have apparently a past with the dragon cult.
This
Now,
is the
Clovis' memories have been somehow wiped or
This is
altered.
the dandy fellow who was traveling with you on the caravan.
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah, that's him.
The absent member of the Fallen.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hmm.
Apparently, they had some kind of a selection process for children. Clovis and I were two of those children. You needed to pass a test to join, or somehow. We don't know much else. Clovis failed, and a man by the name of Crispin Montgomery helped him escape from a fate unknown after failing. I succeeded. And from what I can gather, and this is just me guessing from what shards or fractions of memories that I have gained, is that when I succeeded, I got adopted into the cult. There they honed my abilities,
How?
and I don't know. But I received the memory that as a child I was doing a test to see if I could, if I was useful. I then received another memory of me being much older, about to go through some kind of a ritual. I held a bone dagger in my hand, and in a last moment, I dropped said dagger and started blasting my way out of there. Hence why I know that I can now do magic, because I could apparently do it before I went into the ground and I'd completely forgotten about it. Either I fought my way out or I was saved, or they let me go, or I don't know what. But the next memory that I know of is that I'm running in the streets from figures in cloaks. The same dragon cult that I was apparently a deserter of.
What has this to do with you? He looks at
Because when I
Ash.
was running through the streets, I heard a girl scream. I heard Ash scream. And that's the last thing I remember.
You remember nothing else of you. You remember nothing else of your time with the cult. Any information they gave you, any individuals, any tactics, anything they said, anything at all.
I know of Crispin Montgomery. I know of another man. Not his face, just his voice.
Keep that in
I
mind.
don't know if it's useful to any of you, but
Well, if you hear that voice again, be sure to let us know.
Jove looks
I can
between
let
the
you
two of you.
all
while
know
pushing-
what the voice sounds like if you want. I have the ability to do so.
What were you saying, Dan?
Sort of listening to it and pushing some of the fire around. He just looks between. He sort of like flicks quite quickly between Ash and Mike as he reels this off and goes, "So you were a part of the cult, huh? How long have you two known this?"
Apparently. Not long.
Can
I mean,
I
I've
see-
known it longer than she has.
Can
Figured
Hanny
it
see
out.
if this has affected Ash, like demeanor wise?
Oh, visibly, yeah.
Yeah.
Then she's going to move closer to Ash and like put a hand on her shoulder, a comforting hand.
He doesn't remember. This isn't. Jove, I only heard a mirror of my scream in the tent. And I ran to see how anybody knew how to replicate that sound, and I found out. And immediately, obviously, it felt like Feathers' initial suspicions were true. But I keep reminding myself that Michael here has essentially been born anew, as it were. These past 4 years, he's been aware and conscious. He has made himself into the man we know. Only recently have these memories come to light. That does not impact who he is today, now. His past life is something different.
The scholar and the beggar.
I don't care about his past life. Clovis will tell you that I don't care what someone did before they came to us, before they came here, started fighting by my side, fighting for us, for you. I care about the person now. But I also, and weirdly I keep having to say this, care about honesty more than anything else. Why have you not said anything until pushed now?
Because
Why?
I was told not to.
Of course you were. And that seemed like the best
first thing I
decision to you,
wanted
did it?
No. I honestly didn't.
Then
The first thing
why
I
didn't
wanted
you
to do
leave?
was to tell you.
It was
Well-
a time when tensions were rife. We were about to go fight the Blight, and then everything with Feathers happened. Jove.
It makes no
But
difference
you-
now.
You've known since Mithridor?
No, I've
You said
I've
the
known-
Blight. That was Mithridor.
Mithranor.
Yeah.
I've known what
Mithrandir.
it about my memories, yes, but I didn't fully understand them until we were at the temple and we were just about to go and free Feathers' soul.
Remember, Jove, that I started this conversation of not knowing where it was going to end up. But there are reasons that people keep things secret until the right time. Now, I had no idea I was opening this can of worms, but the fact that he's being honest now should count for something.
I'm not angry. I'm not
I know.
flying into a rage. I'm not doing what
know.
I normally do, which is what you all expect of me. I just want to know why you didn't feel like you could trust me with this at all.
It wasn't a matter of that.
Well, what was it then? What did you gain from not telling us?
Nothing,
just
but we
didn't
didn't
want-
lose anything either. It was a matter of...
I don't know if that's true.
It wasn't... There was never... There was not a good time, I guess.
Sometimes
Good
after,
time.
sometimes after a harsh battle, it's best not to tell the men that they've got another one the next day before they go to bed. Otherwise, they might not sleep at all. Listen, whatever that was, that just happened. Nothing to do with me, but thank you for being honest about this, Michael. You'll forgive me, but I will be keeping a slightly closer eye on you from now on.
Oh, trust me, it's nothing I haven't been through before. We had a
I
paladin before in our party.
I trust your intentions are good. What I don't trust is whatever they set you to before this new lease on life, and what if that might remain, whether you know
Believe
it or
me,
not.
I keep worrying about that myself as well.
Well, it sounds to me like when they tried to get rid of you, they did a pretty decisive job about it, leaving that sword in your chest. So, fingers crossed, that's a joker in our deck of cards.
One more thing about that. She's the one who brought me back.
I don't remember doing that.
You said you met him on the road.
Yeah.
Aye, he was looking for me.
Oh, when I was
Yeah.
dead, I had a... I don't know. Vision of...
I'm
Ash.
starting to hate visions. I just want to put that out there.
Oh, trust me, I do too. I get too many
I-
of them and I don't like it.
I had this really long vision where I had to fight a load of skeletons.
I've had that one.
I've done that
Right.
as well.
Oh my god, it's terrifying.
I've never done that. I don't know if that makes me normal or
For
not.
the sake of brevity,
Yeah, I think from that point, things sort of come down a little bit, and we were just chat the
Yeah.
night away about fights
exactly.
we've had and shit.
For the sake of brevity, you know, you guys spend another hour or two drinking, reminiscing about good times, putting yourselves all back on an even keel. No secrets left between anybody. As Hallie so rightly said, moving forward as an open book and as a more understanding and less skeptical group.
Briefly before you wrap this up, I do
I'm
want to
not-
do one thing. Oh, sorry, I thought you were. Carry on.
I don't know. You go. You go ahead.
We're about to get into a fight, baby. Come on.
You go ahead. What would you like to do, Hallie?
Showdown.
Before we bed down, fairly sloshed.
Good stuff.
She wants to just sensing, you know, whatever's gone on in the party. She wants to take Jove outside where he can see the stars.
Okay.
And she's going to have a brief. I'm not going to RP it. I'm
Mhm.
just going to say she's going to have a brief conversation about stars and just trying to like get this back onto a lighter thing. So she's going to point out the constellation if she can find it from this point of view that
I mean,
has
you're pretty.
Jupiter in.
You're pretty learned when it comes to astrology at this point.
Yeah. So she is going to point out the star that he is named after, and the fact that there are so many more stars, and how that even the stars are small in comparison to the world. So we are just this like sort of small part.
Real hippie shit.
Yeah, she is.
The Earth
She's
is
such a
flat.
stoner drop.
Yeah, I love that.
So yeah,
it's like the pound of feathers, pound of steel thing. It's like stars are big. I was like, no, but they're small. I don't.
But it's a
get it.
but it's a kilogram.
I don't get
They're
it.
both a kilogram.
so she's just going to take that moment with him, just apart from the party, just drunkenly talking to him about the stars.
Jove, slightly less tipsy, but appreciating just conversation. It's just kind of like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah. Like just nodding along, agreeing, enjoying the brevity.
Well, you
Michael's
all
gonna do one thing as well.
sure.
I'm also gonna do one thing.
You can't stop this, DM.
I'm not going to do anything. I'm just having a drink and going to bed.
Yeah, good. That's
Sitting-
what. Do you know? Weirdly, that's what everyone was going to do. Go on, Michael. What are you doing?
I have a tiger.
Mentioning the fact that Michael might need to change his look.
Yeah.
He's gonna sit by the fire, take out one of his daggers, and he's gonna start
No.
cutting off the sides of his hair.
Oh, thank
Oh, I thought you
So he's
Oh,
gonna
that's
go-
so-
called it then. I was like, oh, it's face off. Great.
All I saw in Hannah's eyes was brilliant. Another piece of art.
We've been talking about this for
Yeah, to be
months,
fair, we
but
have.
now it's happening. So he's just gonna shave the sides of his hair, leaving the white streak still, but shaving it off and basically making this.
Nice.
And what's the one thing that you're going to be doing, Ash?
Ash is kind of immediately gonna panic seeing Michael take out a knife and go to his head, because his solution to fixing things typically involves drawing blood. And-
That's mine.
That was one time, and
I
that was
wasn't
to
even
save your
alive.
life. And you were unconscious.
But it's kind of like very sloshed. Every time it's been put down, it's ended up back in Ash's hand, and she's like fiddling with a ring, like rocking back and forth. And it's like, I swear to God, if you betray us, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. I miss you.
You don't get any response
No.
back
I know.
from the sending stone, but you all finish up your evening or your day at this point.
Yeah.
I think you've sat there for a good
Yeah.
3 or 4 hours. It's getting, I mean, it is towards midday because you
Evening,
landed at like whatever. Time has passed.
Mhm.
Time has happened.
Time has moved on, but what is time? It's all around us. Who really knows what it is?
Timey-wimey.
Relative.
It's just a word.
Wibbly wobbly.
But
It's just a word.
It's just a concept.
the passing of time has happened, and you have all drank your merry fill. The bottles are empty. Most of you drunk, if not tipsy. And you all bed down for the night. During the night,
Stig snores like an absolute.
yes, he
Ow.
does.
Roll.
Yeah.
Ash moves out of the freaking crack.
Very, very, very closely followed by Jove. So if he goes, there's like half an ear, just one after another.
Going up and down like that. That's the worst when they.
As you are all fast asleep, Michael, Jove, and Ash, you are all greeted by the same image. A white horizon passing. Oh, this is wrong. This is wrong.
Okay.
Keep it.
This is the
nice.
one. I clicked the wrong one. There you go.
Stig is using his hippogriff as a pillow, by the way.
That's fine. You all see like a white horizon with a bright white light that beckons all of you closer within your dream. As you all stand in your own space, none of you can see each other, by the way. This is all just in your own head. You see this light, and here amongst you, my brave and steadfast fallen. And as this voice, this very familiar voice to the three of you beckons, you see the light pulses in time with the voice. Tonight, under the moon's watchful gaze, I stand before you, the guardian of realms and the bringer of hope. I see in your eyes the weariness of countless battles fought, the scars etched upon your souls, and the weight of the world resting upon your shoulders. Yet, I also witness the unwavering determination that resides within each one of you, the unyielding spirit that has earned you the title of Fallen, and the potential to transcend your limitations. We stand on the precipice of a battle that will shape the very fate of our world. Forces of darkness loom ever closer, their shadows reaching for every corner of existence. But fear not, for you are the chosen ones. Bound by destiny and driven by purpose, you are the ones who must embrace the mantle of the fallen, warriors of light amidst the encroaching darkness. In the face of imminent adversity, remember that true strength lies not only in the might of your swords or the magic coursing through your veins. It is forged in the bonds we share, the unwavering unity that binds us as one. Together, we are an unstoppable force. No challenge, no matter how daunting, shall stand unvanquished before our unified might. This battle is not just about survival. It is about reclaiming the very essence of hope that darkness seeks to extinguish. It is a battle for the souls of our loved ones, for the prosperity of future generations, and for the promise of a brighter tomorrow. Let not doubt creep into your hearts, for it is merely a whisper, an illusion crafted to test your resolve. Rise above it, my fallen, and let your faith in each other and yourselves be your guiding light. Remember the countless battles you have fought, the trials that you have endured, and the victories that you have already achieved. They are not mere memories, but stepping stones on the path of greatness that lies before us. But with every battle fought, you have grown stronger, wiser, more resilient. And now, as destiny beckons, you shall rise even higher, transcending the limitations of mere mortals and forging your names into the annals of history. But when you step onto that battlefield, let your spirit soar. Let your resolve be unwavering, and let the fire within your hearts illuminate the dark. Fight not only for yourselves, but for the countless lives that depend on you. Embrace the power within you, for it is a reflection of the indomitable spirit that binds us all. My fallen, tonight, I ask you to draw upon your deepest reserves of courage, determination, and wavering hope. Together, we shall weather the storm, turn the tide of darkness, and emerge triumphant. And tomorrow, as the sun sets, we shall stand together, having triumphed over the encroaching dark, reclaiming the future. Onward, fallen. Onward to glory. The next morning, you all wake. Ash, Michael, and Stig, you wake up bright-eyed-ish in the morning.
Right eye.
Yeah.
Turn
Jove.
around. Yeah.
You wake up and you feel warmer than normal, and your chest feels heavy.
He looks down to see Zayla's on him again.
You look down, see a flash, bright red hair streamed from your chest down, with Hallie's head firmly resting on your chest. And that is where we're going to leave it tonight.
How drunk did I get last night?
And
Just
that's
see his
where
eyes
we,
like snap out and just goes, "Oh no."
that's where we're going to end tonight's session, guys. We will pick up next week with the Fallen and find out what the f- is going to happen next.
Let's go, baby.
Fucking
That
heroes.
speech.
What?
Love it.
How am I
Yeah.
gonna recap that speech? Like,
I mean, I can send it. I can,
Word for
I
fucking
can-
word.
No edits.
I can definitely send it to you if you like. But that's the end of
Abridged.
tonight's session. Everyone that's joined us tonight, I do want to say a massive thank you.
Thanks for coming, guys.
We really appreciate you guys stopping in and spending the evening with us. Please, obviously,
Always.
ensure that you stick around. We are going to look at. We're going
I thought you were gonna.
We're
I thought you
gonna
were gonna say
raid.
drive home safe.
No.
I thought that was coming as well, to be
get
fair.
get home safe.
Thanks for
Mind
coming to the
yourselves on the
meeting.
roads.
No,
Really
no,
appreciate
no.
it.
Nothing like that. We are going to do a raid.
Woo!
So let me have a quick look here at who we've
Shut
got.
Who we raiding, boss?
Died by the sword or?
We're going to. No, we raided them last week. Let's spread the love a little bit. Let's go to. We're
Although
gonna
do check them out.
Yeah, definitely check them out.
We're going to raid a stream called Geek Initiative.
Awesome name.
Okay.
I'm just making sure.
Geek Initiative. Activate.
Yeah, there we go. That's the one. Let's hope this works. Did not allow to raid at this time. Oh, so they don't allow raiders.
Let's
Oh.
give it to D20.
Give it to D20 by the D20. Come on.
Who
Okay, let's do
one of
D20.
joined us for the Talon Guard, which is now on YouTube. The
It
one
is
shot-
now on YouTube.
yeah,
The one shot we did last
go
Thursday.
check it out if you haven't already.
Make
Just
sure
it's
you
amazing.
make sure you
If
stick
you have, check it out
around.
again.
Make sure you say hello to the guys over at Die by the Sword. And thank you so much for sticking with us this evening. We'll be back next Tuesday with more Fallen Madness. Thank you very much for sticking with us, and we will see you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.